Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're here. I hope everything's running all right. I am fucking exhausted. I don't know why. I didn't even do anything today. This was like one of the lazier days. I just had to prep and, take some questions from people around here. But I shouldn't be exhausted. But I think I slept like shit last night.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of those days. I'm just like, okay, let's just get through this today.
Yep.
Hope for better tomorrow. I felt great yesterday.
Yeah.
So, anyway. They came and opened a pool today.
There you go.
Yeah, I couldn't wait. I've been counting down the days for like 3 weeks. Every day I'm like, Cece, 2.5 more weeks. They open your pool. And she's like, I don't remember what that is. I just don't remember. Because it used to be like, I even mentioned pool. And she's like, hell yeah, we're going in a pool. She loves it. Loves to swim around. She herds the little basketball. She just loves it. And now that they pulled the tarp off and it's starting to look blue, we'll be able to go in there by Friday. Probably even tomorrow if we wanted. But she's like, oh, yeah.
She's starting to get it.
She's starting to get it. So it's like, I got to do a little cleanup out here first, sweetheart. But yeah, we'll be out there, which is great. It'll be good for resale and all that.
Yep.
So
just a good spot to relax on a hard day.
yeah, I like prepping out there.
Yeah.
Just sitting in the sun. I like skimming the pool,
Yep.
All that stuff. I love it. And it's work I don't mind, that outdoor, easy chilling by the pool kind of thing. I could do that forever. So I'm so glad. It just signals summer,
Well,
warm
that's the benefit
weather.
of Arizona is you can keep your pool open all year now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's a pool where we're moving, obviously. So I can't wait. I hope it's all the same depth. I don't like this one has like 9 foot deep.
Yeah.
For the diving board, and it's just like, unless you're a kid, little kids like going off diving boards and
doing
jumping
flips
it like
and stuff.
Me, I'd give anything to have it like 4 feet all the way across and then throw a volleyball
Just a lounge
in the middle.
pool.
Yeah, totally. That's all I do
cool.
anyways,
Yeah.
just lounge. So, and Cece can't touch the bottom, so it's like, it doesn't matter if it's 4 foot or 10 foot, but it wipes out half the pool, because I'm not getting up and going to the diving board ever. And unless it's little kids who I don't give a shit about.
They can jump in. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They're just happy there's some water to splash around.
But it does signify that summer's here finally, and that's good. So, and the guys are getting really close to kind of wrapping stuff up there. A lot of little stuff happening around the house, which is great to finally get that kind of done. It's going to start coming together nicely here over the next couple weeks. So
Good.
I'm excited for that, but I'm really excited to have the pool open. Not a lot going on in the world today. More of the same old. I pulled some stories because that's what we do. But I don't know. Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah.
Were you ever a Boy Scout?
I was.
Really?
Yeah.
How far did you get?
Out. I got
Kicked out. How do you get kicked out of the Boy Scouts?
I wasn't good at getting molested.
Yeah, dude.
I was too loud.
I was reading some stories, man.
It's a problem.
It's billions of dollars that
Yeah.
they had to pay out. That bankruptcy claim, there were like 80,000 kids that came forward. It's like, wow, I don't know. You stick strange adults in the woods with fucking toddlers.
Full access to your kids.
There's
You
just
want to
something
trust
about
them,
it.
but
Yeah, and you don't want to smear anybody, but it's like, unless you're like a father of one of the kids,
yeah.
it just seems weird that it's my whole thing with the drag queen story hour. It's like, wait a minute. Why do you want to fucking hang out with other people's children?
Yeah,
like it's just weird on its face.
And that's my thing with drag queens too. And like, if you're doing this, then say what you want about. Oh, it's just drag. It's just drag. Like,
Yeah.
being in drag is kind of a sexual thing in nature.
100%.
It's a dude in women's clothes wearing the panties and all that. And they're doing it because it makes them feel good. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Do your thing.
Fine, do you?
Why are you bringing out the kids?
Yeah.
It's
Well, what are we doing with the children?
like,
Leave
why are
them
they
alone.
there?
The Boy Scout outfit with the short shorts and
Yeah.
whatever, the tan, it was always kind of creepy to me.
Yep.
I didn't do Boy Scout. Well, what is the cub, bear, weeblo?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I
that
think I did Cub and then Tiger Scout were my two.
Tiger
That's
Scout?
as far as I got. I didn't get the Weeblo.
I got to weeblo. I had the fucking neckerchief.
No.
And the other thing.
I think I was in like 3rd grade or whatever, and this is how I kind of got kicked out. Is I just was on a little thing where we were supposed to be picking up trash in a park or something. I just ended up going in the woods and walking away with one of my friends.
Yeah.
And we just decided, fuck it, we're going to go on an
I
adventure.
don't remember having to do that either. Pick up shit.
Yeah,
I remember
nowadays-
like the Pinewood Derby. I remember
that.
softball leagues. I was in a fucking
I didn't do that. But a lot of
softball
ours-
league at one point. But that's what I remember. And I remember the stupid meetings.
Yeah.
I just wasn't into it at the time. I wasn't one of those kids that wanted to go camping.
I
and
wasn't either.
learn how to fucking make fire from sticks. I do think my position's kind of changed on this. I do think now more than ever, there's nothing wrong with like having a group of young people learn like
Survival skills.
Survival
but
skills.
It wasn't that
and-
when I was in there.
No, I don't remember it really as that. But I think that was like if you were going on to
Yeah.
more of it, like Eagle Scouts, obviously, like
Yeah,
that's
they do all the fun
legit. Eagle Scout was legit stuff, like being out in the woods and saving yourself and learning how to start fires from
I just
nothing.
learned
And,
that shit on my own.
huh?
I just learned that shit on my own time.
Yeah, I don't know when I'd be stuck in a woods somewhere and I'd need to survive
Never
or
know.
kill something to eat. I'm never going out there.
I got a bug out kit in my car just in case something happens.
Yeah, I'm never going to go wandering off into the woods, so I don't worry about that. But that's just me. But the Boy Scouts of America announced this week that that they're undergoing a rebrand to be more inclusive, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts.
And maybe it's a good thing, but anytime I see inclusive, I'm just like, oh, go fuck yourself. If you're doing something illegal, fine. If you're
Yeah.
going like, we want all the boys to be in the Boy Scouts except the black ones.
Yeah.
Well, then I got a problem with it.
Yeah.
That's not inclusive. But if but then I thought more about it, and I'm like, okay, why was it just boys, not girls? And I know there was Girl Scouts, but I
Yeah.
think they were doing like
More
learning how to
homemaking.
knit.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot
homemaking.
of making the selling cookies and stuff like that.
Yeah, which fine. I'm sure Boy Scouts did their stupid fundraisers too. The Girl Scouts
Oh yeah,
cookies
we sold
one
popcorn.
Did you sell popcorn?
Yeah, the Boy Scouts sold
See,
popcorn.
And maybe I did. I don't remember any of that shit. I remember doing
I
like,
vaguely remember it.
I remember having candy drives for dumb
Yeah.
shit or car washes. I do remember some of that, but I don't think it was Boy Scout related. So anyways, they want to be more inclusive. The National Scouting Organization underwent a major change in 2018. I remember covering it then when it started allowing girls to join the club. Scouts, which is for children aged 7 to 10, that was the Cub Scouts, which is children 7 to 10. The following year, the Boy Scouts program for older kids, that's 11 to 17, began admitting young women. The new name will reflect these changes as the group, which formerly switched to Scouts BSA,
Okay.
which I see what you did there. It's Boy Scouts of America
Yeah.
as BSA. Will now rebrand as Scouting America, effective February 8th, 2025. So we got to wait a little bit. But that is the actual 115-year anniversary
Oh, that's fun.
of the organization. Their president, CEO Roger Crone, said the name change was made in part to encourage girls to join the program, since it will no longer have the name boy in it. While this may be a surprise to some of you, for us, this is a straightforward evolution and the next natural step in ensuring all American youth feel welcomed and recognized in an organization meant to serve all Americans. I think times have changed from the days like
well, the Boy Scouts changed too.
well, yeah, but we're no longer a society that like one person in the household works, and it's like the man goes to work and the woman keeps the house up and raises the kids and cooks the food.
Yeah.
Like those days were awesome and hilarious, and you go read Housekeeping Magazine
Yeah.
from the 50s. They're fucking
I got a bunch of
dynamite.
old Playboys, and I love
They're
the
dynamite.
advertisements. The
It's-
advertisements are why I get them.
Oh yeah, the woman with the vacuum and
Yep.
shit. It's hilarious.
Or the
It's
cigarette
awesome.
ads that just say now with 50% less tar. And I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a selling point.
Oh hell yeah! 4 out of 5 doctors choose smoke
Yep.
Camel, non-filter. You're like cool, but society has definitely changed in that it's not necessarily like women can only do these jobs and men do these jobs and men provide and
Yeah.
while that's still a lot of that is true,
Yeah.
very much so. And I've had girlfriends that have come to me at times and kind of broken. And just like, you're supposed to bring home the bacon, and I'm supposed to,
You're like, oh, now you got it.
Now you're getting it. Which is fine. I think
Yeah.
a lot of guys want to be the provider, breadwinner, whatever it may be. But those days are kind of antiquated and older. And I don't have a problem with girls. Like, I know tons of girls, more than guys I know, that want to hang out in the woods and go camping and do trails, and like there's nothing wrong with that. The change here will not alter the organization's mission of preparing young people over their lives to make ethical and moral choices by instilling the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. America's values are scouting values. I agree. Just don't fuck the kids.
Yeah.
Like, if we can get to that point, we'd be great.
That sounds like the best point to be at.
Yeah. Like,
seems like also the easiest point to try and get to.
You would
Just
think.
don't fuck the kids.
Don't fuck the kids. Don't fondle little boys.
We don't care if you swear at them. Maybe you get angry, you start yelling at them, call them little shits. But
do they do
fuck
that
them.
in the Scouts? I don't think they do.
No, I'm just saying
Garrett.
you might get that one errant scout leader who gets a little stick up his ass and he's angry.
I think you're confusing my old football coaches from my Scout leaders.
Maybe.
I remember them being dorky parents.
They're always dorky parents.
Yeah.
The thing that happened to me in Scouts too, not that anything happened, but like it became one of those things where it just seemed like you were doing community service every week, and that's all it was.
See,
Just
I don't
free labor.
remember that. That must have been.
That's what it was. That's why I
like
said
later
Scouts changed.
generations.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember like, hey man, if I'm in trouble for something, I'll gladly go pick up garbage on the side of the road. But I'm in the Boy Scouts. Teach me how to fucking start a fire.
I
with
didn't
two
learn any of
sticks.
that when I did the Pinewood Derby. I think that was the most Boy Scout thing I did. Everything
Yeah.
else was kind of like life lessons and picking up and helping your community.
I think it's just been too long since I was a member.
Yeah.
And I
So
bailed.
that's why I'm like, yeah, bring the girls in. Who cares?
I
It's
bailed
not
after
Scouts.
Weeblo, so I didn't get to the part where they actually teach you
Yeah,
life
maybe up
lessons.
there.
But when you're preaching ethical and moral choices, you really don't want the fuck the kids part involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that goes, like you're really, one step forward, two steps back if you start jacking off little boys.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, morals and ethics. It's like,
You can teach you how to be a good member of society. You know what good members of society do?
don't jack off children.
Don't jack off kids.
Yeah. That's just me, though.
Or now that
I've
they're
never been a
all-inclusive,
Boy
don't
Scout.
diddle.
I've never been a Boy Scout leader, so I don't know what their official handbook said. But anytime you get hit with that tag, it's kind of like the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know many parents that would be dying to have their kid be an altar boy nowadays.
No.
Just because of the history.
Even saying it like altar boy, it's like, oh,
Ooh, yeah. Oh, so you got fucked by a priest.
Yep.
Cool. It's not fair to, smear them all that way, but I didn't do this to you.
Yep.
I was never part of your organization. I never had anything happen to me. But I think that's a good way to start is like, hey, we all agree, especially with this rebranding, we are not fucking kids anymore. We're not diddling kids. We're not doing anything with kids. Just teaching them to be better human beings. The change to allow girls into Boy Scouts has been mired in controversy. Besides the backlash from leaders and participants, Girl Scouts filed a federal lawsuit claiming we're entitled to the sole use of the term scout when referencing leadership opportunities for girls after BSA started using the word scout more generally. The courts ruled in favor of Boy Scouts of America, saying they did not violate the Girl Scouts trademark.
that's fucking weird.
Yeah, that seems
It's
like a
leave it to the
weird
women to
argument.
get angry over having the name Scout and they have the name Scout. Like, you're both Scouts.
Well, who got there first? I'm
Yeah.
assuming the Boy Scouts were there before the Girl
find out.
Scouts, probably by 50 years would be my guess. It does seem kind of petty.
Yeah, 1911, Boy Scouts started, and then the Girl Scouts, I'm looking for that, blah, 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 following year.
Oh, the following
Yep,
year.
the following year was the Girl
1912?
Scouts. Yep, so
No
1912 was Girl
shit.
Scouts.
I don't remember my sister ever being in. I remember her being a brownie and having that
Yeah.
brown uniform with the sash over it. You really wanted to get that patch, whatever it was
Yeah.
for selling shit or, who knows what they were for. I don't remember. But getting that patch was a big deal. I remember that. I was a costume kid. I liked getting a uniform, whether it was for my baseball team, my football team,
not
my
me. I
soccer
hated it.
team. Really?
I hated
I
uniforms.
loved that. I loved getting a new uniform to start a season.
I got a touch of the tism, so if you put the wrong clothes on me, I freak out.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
I don't wear
You're
shorts or anything like that, yeah. Low end
You're
spectrum.
one of those guys.
One of those guys.
Yeah. The never wear shorts guys. I
Yep.
know multiple of them. You fuckers creep me out. You guys
It's
are
not
weird.
my fault, I promise.
God damn it, son Diddick.
If I could handle
Very
shorts, I
rarely. He wore shorts during soccer season and stuff like that, but he's the guy that would come over, never have a shirt on, but he'd be wearing jeans and flip-flops.
That's me.
And I was like,
I'll wear
just so
jeans,
weird,
flip-flops, no
man.
shirt, I don't care.
G Money is not a shorts guy.
Yep.
He always thought he had too long of legs and he was too tall.
I also got chicken legs, too.
Yeah.
That's what they call them, because my ankles are just thin. I got these long-ass legs.
Yeah, G's got long legs, but he was an athlete, so he's got calves and stuff. But yeah, he always felt self-conscious or whatever about his because he's 6'3", and so he always felt self-conscious
Yeah.
about being tall and thin, and oh, woe is you,
Yeah.
is what I would say.
You don't know
but-
what we're going through, Mike.
Yeah, right.
We're going through a lot.
Poor
right?
you guys. Poor you guys. So let's see. The benefit of the single gender environment has been well documented by educators, scholars, and other girl and youth serving organizations, the Girl Scouts said in a press release. At the time, more than 1 million children are enrolled in Boy Scouts of America, with 176,000 girls and young women represented in that number. More than 6,000 young women earn the prestigious Eagle Scout rank. I guess that's pretty hard to get, Eagle Scout. I've never tried. I
didn't get past Tiger, so you got further than I did.
Well, I thought it was Cub, Bear, and Weeblo.
Yeah.
I don't remember Tiger.
I remember
What the
Tiger.
fuck what kind of weirdo Cub Scouts were
I
you
don't know.
involved in? I remember Bear, Cub, and Weeblo. Or Cub, Bear, Weeblo, I guess it would have been.
There is
But
a Tiger rank.
Were you in some knockoff fucking off-brand version of the...
It goes lion, tiger, wolf, bear, weeblo.
Wait, say it again?
Right now, just according to scouting.org, it goes, sorry, something popped up. Lion, tiger, wolf, bear, weeblos.
Okay, so that must be age groups.
Yeah,
so,
I think
so.
so.
So what did they say? The 11 to 17 age. So the Scouts, so the Boy Scouts, like Cub Scouts, children 7 to 10.
Yeah.
So before age 7 must be that weirdo shit you were in.
Yeah, if you look at it, kindergarten's
Lions.
first grade's tiger, second grade would be wolf.
Yeah.
So maybe I made it the wolf, maybe I made it the bear. I don't know. I feel like I was in elementary
I
school
think
range.
you bailed too early, dude.
I should have.
You
I don't know. I
probably.
got lost
That's
in the
why
woods
they
and I
had
didn't
you. That's why they had you picking up trash on the side of the road.
Eh.
They were taking advantage of you. They didn't make me do that.
Yeah, it was just child
Bears,
labor.
Cubs. Nah, dude. No, I don't remember that at all. Yeah, they just used you for child labor.
Then after Weeblo, you get the arrow of light.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yep.
And
I
then
think
when
you go
does
into
Eagle Scout?
I think
Is it-
Eagle comes after Arrow Light. It stops there because that just cuts off at 5th grade. And I think after that, you just start getting the actual, like, you have to earn your next rank.
So wait, but they say that 11 to 17 age group is older kids 11 to 17. That would put you through high school though.
Yeah.
So
that's gotta be
Eagle
Eagle.
Eagle picks up
I think
after
anything
that.
after 6th grade, it becomes Eagle Scout, and that's kind of where you. No,
I don't think so, dude.
I'm
I mean,
throwing
I'm
up
not.
Scouts, Boy Scouts of America's website right here.
Okay, see if you can find out. Not that it matters that much, but I definitely bailed on that shit before high school.
Yeah.
Definitely, probably before middle school even. But yeah. So do most people that are Eagle Scouts get that shit done as they graduate high school? Because
I
that's
think
not
so,
into
yeah.
college, right?
Well, usually a lot of those guys, once they get towards high school, they join ROTC.
Right.
And that's
I
when they
remember
start
that.
becoming military boys.
Or as we call them, ROTCs.
Yep. Oh no, we used to call them the what was it? Oh fuck.
There was
great,
some
it was
homo
usually just it was just some
acronym
stupid
or
shit
something.
just to make fun of them, like the bootlickers and shit like that.
Yeah, we call them ROTCs. I don't know that every school had a ROTC program.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. So yeah, you go to
When
Arrow
does
of
Eagle
Light,
start?
and then it becomes Scouts of. That's when you become an Eagle Scout. So then after I'm sorry, I'm reading it right now as it goes through. Arrow of Light is your 5th grade, and then right here, the first rank Scouts earned by demeaning base. So that's when you're an actual Scout is Scout, and then you get Tenderfoot, 2nd class, 1st class, Star, Life, and Eagle.
Oh, okay.
So Eagle's down there.
Yeah, Eagle's down the list.
Yep.
I wonder what
it's
you
the
got.
highest rank attainable.
What do you have to do to become an Eagle Scout? Like, what does it say? What the test is? And
It says to become an Eagle Scout, you must earn a total of 21 merit badges and demonstrate Scout spirit, service, and leadership. This includes extensive service project that you will plan, organize, lead, and manage.
okay, so you're just in charge of the younger ones.
Pretty much.
So wait, you don't have to like go out to the woods for a week by yourself and.
No, it just looks like you just have to.
You don't have to
become
learn how to-
You just have to earn 21 merit badges and demonstrate Scout
Well,
spirit.
that's bullshit. I thought Eagle Scout was they give you a pocket knife and stick you in the woods for
I'll
a
just
week,
do that anyways.
and then they have a bunch of child predators coming at you, and you got to find a way to dodge them, and then make a campfire
Yeah.
and feed yourself. Like I thought Eagle Scout had to do all that stuff.
Yep.
But just earn 21 badges and be a leader.
You know, one of your badges is probably a fire making badge, things like that.
yeah.
By the way, we got a $2 super chat from Johnny Utah. It says, "Hey guys, got my fact pass today. Thanks, Travis in Arizona."
Hey, all right.
So hell yeah.
I'll say hi to Travis when I get
Glad
there.
he got his fact pass. I hope
There
he
you
likes
go.
the card I brought with it.
Oh
little
yeah,
art cards.
you were sending some special cards.
Yeah.
We still have some of those, by the way. We haven't mentioned them in a few days. But
No.
if you would like an official fag pass, which basically gives you license from the community, use the term fag, faggot, faggy,
Any iteration of it.
iteration of it. Yeah, and it gives you a write up, and
I like
it's
to let
signed by
people get creative.
a member of the community, which is Garrett.
Yep.
He officially came up with these. So if you'd like one, he doesn't mind sending them out to you. Don't abuse that and make
Yes.
Garrett look bad. You know, it is
giving
his
them these out in
community.
good faith.
You're being welcomed into the community with a fag pass and being able to use the terminology, but don't abuse it. You know, we don't want to hear horror stories.
So far,
like
I
that.
haven't gotten any reports back of misuse.
Good.
So we're good so far.
The community at your last meeting hasn't come
the
up
last
and
meeting
said
they haven't
anything?
come up to say, I haven't got any text messages like, hey, are you giving out extra passes?
Yeah.
No. I'm regulating
Are
them.
you
I'm
just
all right.
willy-nilly giving out faggot
nonsense.
passes? Bob
would
Brady,
never.
a scout leader in Jersey, explained his decision to form an all-girls BSA troop. 5.5 years after we started, you see people in town who see us marching in a parade, doing a service project, saying girls can be scouts. It's called the Boy Scouts. It takes some explaining to do. So I think this is going to be great to help with recruiting and let everyone know the inclusive program we've become over the last decade. I guess my question would be, is it necessarily a bad thing to have programs specifically for groups? Now, I'll start by saying, obviously, it's not cool if it's like, no X race, or if you're gay, you're not welcome. Like, we've done enough of that throughout the history of this country to recognize and grow and realize probably not the best idea to not let black people go on golf courses.
Yeah, you might want to.
That's
them.
shitty. You know that it's just
Some people might say,
and it
they're
still
people
happens. It's yeah, right. It still happens, but but aside from the legality of that stuff, I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing to have like a girls group. Like, this is, maybe they're doing the same things, but it's like, I totally understand when you're talking about the ages of 11 to 17, there's a lot of development that goes on with kids at that age.
Putting those kids in the woods and cabins.
And not even that, but just what you'd be comfortable with. And I remember, like, I could be totally one way at 12 years old, 13 years old, around the guys on my teams, and be a totally different personality when girls got introduced to the mix. And it was like all of a sudden you're trying to impress girls, and now your focus, you've got raging hormones. Your focus isn't necessarily on the task. It's trying to impress the one hot chick in the group.
Yep.
Like that kind of stuff is, as you get older and more mature and you learn how to behave and you learn how to conduct yourself around people, it's not a big deal. But if you think back to middle school and the dance, like in a movie, it's all portrayed as like kids can't wait to get on the dance floor and dance with the opposite sex. That's bullshit.
It did change in my generation, though.
There was more of that going on?
It was mostly grinding in my generation, dude. We go to homecomings, kids on kids. It's like, whoa.
But I remember the days of like, oh my God, girls are here, and like being freaked out or embarrassed, and wallflowers were a thing, and it was like, I can't wait to get out of here. So I don't necessarily know that it's a bad thing to be like, hey, we want these guys focused on these projects here. We don't need raging hormones going on, and now you throw girls into the mix in it, or something specially for girls who we want them focused on these things and blah blah blah. Is it such a bad thing to have, separate but equal?
Yeah.
It's got to be equal.
Got to be equal.
We've learned.
Separate but equal.
Right. I don't want you to, like get shitty things and stuff. Title IX kind of fixed a lot of that, where it's like, you've got to you can't just give girls no opportunities in sports. And
if
it's
you
like,
have a men's sport, you got to give a girls sport.
Yeah, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
And at the college level, I get it. And if that means the football program makes all this money, well, it's paying for the crew team, and it's paying for the fucking whatever. And that's only fair in some respects. But I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing to have a group of guys together or a group of girls together, working separately towards goals and helping each other. I don't know. We'll see, but hopefully, what we don't get
a lot of
is
Uncle Touchies.
Well,
that's what I don't want.
The Boy Scouts $2.4 billion with a B bankruptcy reorganization plan took effect last year, allowing the organization to keep operating while compensating the more than 80,000 men who say they were,
might have a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, they were abused as children while scouting. So, hopefully 30 years from now, it doesn't go from 80,000 men complaining about this to 80,000 men and 80,000 women.
Well, we got to, equate for the time. It'd be 100,000 men and 80,000 women.
True.
Or if we're going off the pay standards, it'd be 73,000 women.
Maybe, but I hope it doesn't go along those lines. But if you start mixing 11 to 17-year-olds for camping stuff, you're going to start having pregnant scouts too.
Yeah.
Because those dudes are going to start fucking those girls.
You don't want to believe it.
I
remember being that age, and I remember any chance you could. I don't even like women now, and it's like I still remember being at that age, and just the way your body is, you kind of want to get alone with a girl every once in a while and try something out.
Yeah, and much more. I mean, dude, I would have at no point, like if we went to a soccer camp and we did this, and Jay and I would do this, and Deuced, and they'd put fucking the entire team in one big giant log cabin with bunk beds, and there'd be 20 of us, 30 of us, all fucking in our own bed in this blah, blah, blah. Now, at the same time, had there been a girls' team of equal size in the cabins next door,
oh, you're rating that.
We
cabin.
would not have slept the night in our cabins. We would have waited till the adults went to bed, and then we would have found a way to fucking get in with the women. You would have found a way to
get the adults away from you. Like you would have been plotting to get them out of there.
And I don't care how much you preach morals and ethics at that age.
Yeah.
That shit's out the window. It just is. So while we all slept in a room and fucked with each other, it's like, hold him down, I got to fart. You'd fart in some kid's face. Like, boys will be boys. We did plenty of that stuff. But had you had girls right next door, that would have been a whole different experience. Whole different
After we're done farting in this kid's face, let's go trick the scoutmaster into saying there's a kid on fire down by the lake so we get 20 minutes in the woman's cabin.
Sure. I don't know that I would have gone that far.
They would have.
To go with attempted murder, but sure.
No.
Your generation's
I didn't say you light a kid
mine.
on fire. I said just tell him there's a kid on fire over there. So
okay. Sure.
You're just trying to get him leave.
You're a little darker than we would have been, but I understand there's a giant age gap between us. So you guys are sick.
I grew up with the internet, man. I had unrestricted access. There were some problems.
Yeah, you did. So anyways, I hope this works out for them. Boy Scouts of America, by the way, began allowing gay youth in 2013. Now, were you a Mo in 2013?
No.
Well, so you were still team straight? Or
I would have been half and half. I was a little confused at that point in 2013. Because I graduated 2015. I know high school was my little bit of a kind of where things started to change a little bit.
So they allowed gay youth in 2013, and I would argue they allowed gay adults in 114 years ago.
In 1911.
Whether they knew it or not, they were admitting quite a few.
Yeah, they let the gay guys in before the women.
Yeah, and or just pedophiles, I guess. Does the gay community claim gay pedos, or do they just like to categorize them
because minor attracted, non-offending, whatever? They claim the maps, but I don't. I fucking don't
no, fuck the maps. Fuck and nobody can tell me any different. Fuck you if you're a map.
If you're fucking looking for that shit, you got a problem.
Don't try to water that down to make me. You are a detestable human being. But no, like the Boy Scout leaders were. I wonder if those were gay men taking advantage of young boys, or if they were just pedophiles taking advantage, or if they're one and the same.
Probably a bit of a both. Not even that they're the same. It could just been a mix. It could have been partially gay men, partially pedophiles.
I guess my question is, I wonder how many straight men that are, and there's probably a lot of dorks in the Boy Scouts, even in leadership that
especially in leadership,
don't have a ton of opportunities for chicks, and it's like, well, I guess I'll take what I can get.
If you're leading Boy Scout groups as an adult, you're probably a dork.
Yeah, I'm comfortable saying that. And
I am.
Nothing wrong with dorks.
I was going to say, the ones who get Eagle Scout usually go ROTC and become military, and then they live a life past that. The ones who come back to the Scouts and become the Scout leaders are probably the fucking dorks.
Yeah, it's creepy. I know. I think it might have been Trump that was given some, like, doing one of those, like, Eagle Scout convention and having all these silver-haired dudes in tan.
And that weird
Scout
Boy Scout
leader
outfit
with the short shorts and giving I was like,
dude, your balls are hanging out of that thing. Fuck
this is just too creepy for me. Maybe it's well-intentioned, but can we update the uniform or something? Because this doesn't.
I've been saying that about
good.
Our military forever, not just the Scouts.
Yeah, the military's better, like the Marines and
but their dress uniforms are still so dorky. You look like you're about to march in a parade.
Yeah, the Navy guys,
Navy
whites.
And I was a Navy guy. Those Navy whites, I'd see them all the time. Like, you look so gay.
I know my dad was
gay.
Navy, but I don't know if Do they all have dress whites?
Yeah, everyone gets dress whites, dress blues, and your regular fatigues.
Yeah.
And then you get
So
your,
is it different?
PT gear.
So my dad must have had that too, in the Navy. But
I
he
didn't
was a
make it so far that I
pilot, so
got my
don't-
own dress whites, but
Yeah. You got a little limp wristed.
Yep, a little limp-wristed in boot
fell out
camp.
of favor. Boy, that seems crazy that it took till 2013 to let the gay youths in.
I think it was
but
just one of those don't ask, don't tells for so long, and then eventually it became a big problem, and that's probably around the time they got sued.
what would be the worry that, oh my God, if we let the gay in here, they're going to fuck all our boys?
Yeah.
Like, what is the concern?
That was the gay
honestly?
panic.
Yeah, I guess.
I remember having a guy who I was friends with for like almost 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. I don't know what happened to him one day. He just started freaking out about me getting AIDS, and I'm going to start giving it to everybody. I'm like, dude, I'm not like every other gay guy. Like, I first of all, I don't just sleep around and get AIDS. That's not what gay people do. It's not all of them.
No, I
But
would
he
hope
just went
not.
off about it one day. He just started getting all pissy. He's like, yeah, and this is why I don't like the fucking fags because they're just fucking spreading AIDS everywhere. I'm like,
Well,
well, the 80s?
Take it up with the fucking buys.
I was gonna say,
then.
it's like, dude, it's
the
2020.
the problem that guy should have is with the buys.
Yeah.
They're the ones I've always had a problem
Yeah.
with. Like, stay on your team, pick a hole.
They're the
I
ones
don't care
giving
what hole
monkeypox
you
to women.
pick. But yeah, you want to talk monkeypox and all that shit, the AIDS shit. It's like when you start dabbling in random holes over here and then go back over here with
I
your
blame
girl.
whoever keeps fucking monkeys.
Well, that too. but the buys, it's like stay in your lane, sir. Don't I'm over here with the girls. You're over there with the dudes. Don't commingle.
Yeah.
Because that's where you start getting the crossover and stuff. And that, at least to me, and maybe that's my ignorance speaking. Maybe it doesn't work quite like that. But I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how. All
I just remember him going off one day out of nowhere, and I was like, dude, what is this, the fucking 80s? And that's why I said, like, in
Yeah.
2013, they probably changed the rule because there's still so many people who think it's like you're going to get AIDS by, skin-to-skin contact with a gay
Yeah.
guy.
Or like Fauci said, by
Yeah.
a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Fauci said you share a toilet bowl or whatever, and somebody
Yeah.
else sits on it, you're going to get AIDS.
Get AIDS, sure. Fauci was all over that.
Good
shit.
job, dude.
Nailed it.
Did a lot for the gay community. I'm
Oh,
glad we
yeah.
supported him.
Big,
and made him
big.
the,
Yeah.
I'm glad he was our in charge of all our medication for a while. During a pandemic.
Of course. Yeah, he's great. He should be buried under the prison, in my opinion. But
Yep.
whatever. What do I know? I wonder how many, by the way, to wrap this up, I wonder how many, 2013, when you're talking about 11 to 17, I wonder how many of the Cub Scouts and then that weird gay thing you were talking about with the tiger and lion and
bobcat,
stuff.
tiger, wolf, bear.
Yeah. How many of those kids would even know they were gay at
I don't
that
know,
age?
but-
To be like, oh, we can't allow them in
I'm
here.
looking
Like,
at it again, but tiger, wolf, and bear just sound like gay terms. Like I know bear is for sure.
bear for sure, yeah.
Well, I
They,
see
they
you calling
couldn't
somebody
be
a
one
wolf.
at that age, but
They're just gonna wait 10 more years. It'll be otter, bear, and twink.
you're probably not
they're
wrong.
gonna overdo it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, good luck to the Scouts.
We like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind.
And no more boys either. No more Boy Scouts. So,
They, them
Scouting Group
Scouts.
of America. The what?
The they them scouts.
The they them Scouts. That's coming. That'll be coming. Gross.
Gross.
District Judge Eileen Cannon ruled that President Trump's classified documents trial is indefinitely postponed.
Okay.
Shit's falling apart before it gets started, which is
I think they're looking at
damning.
the paperwork and realize, yeah, we're trying to push this hard that we can. It's all a hold up scheme.
Yeah, this is if you're going to be honest about this, these four cases are about as bullshit as they come, in my humble opinion. I think it's pretty clear what they're trying to do, which is why statute of limitations be damned. Why bring it up now?
Yeah.
All these things,
Real
especially
convenient time.
when you've got presidential acts and what they're allowed to keep, declassify, like all that stuff there's laws about that. And so some of that shit needs to be adjudicated before you can start going, oh yeah, someone's violated something. Well, this judge is finally going, hold on.
Yeah.
You can't just claim that, Jack Smith, and rush this
There's
through.
an actual judge in there now.
Yeah, so we've got an actual judge here and suspended this indefinitely, citing legal issues and deadlines involving the use of classified evidence at trial. Former president had been scheduled to go on trial in Jack Smith's federal criminal case against him in 2 weeks. So they were going to have this one that he's in now, this horse shit that he's in now with Stormy Daniels. Drag on for another few weeks, right up until May 20th. Get this one, and then let's ship him down to Georgia to deal with that bullshit case with that's falling apart on its face, and then let's get them up to Manhattan to deal with this one. And by the time all that nonsense is done, the election will be over.
Yep.
And now they're finding out, hold on, timeout. You can't just cram all this shit through to hold this guy up. I know you'd like to do that. It's crystal clear
There's
to
the
most
Biden laptop again.
Most people with a thinking brain. It's pretty obvious what you're trying to do, but that's not how the court systems work.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for level-headed people in charge, adults, as I'm not one of them, but I rely on adults in the room to go, hold on. You don't just get to rush this through because it gives the illusion of absolute election interference. That's what it looks like. It looks like you've got very weak cases in all of these, and it looks like there's a lot of questions that need to be resolved before we start cramming this stuff through.
Yeah.
And I've said from day one, and I stand by it, I don't think these people give a flying fuck about the outcome of this.
Yeah.
Because most of these will get thrown out on their face. You know, once it gets into appeal time, these will all be tossed. But the damage has been done. And so hopefully some adults are in the room and are kind of putting the brakes on some of this nonsense now. At least Judge Cannon appears to be. She said in her order that the trial would no longer begin on May 20th, and she did not set a new date. The court also determines that finalization of a trial date at this juncture before resolution of the myriad and interconnected pretrial and Classified Information Procedures Act issues remaining and forthcoming would be imprudent and inconsistent with the court's duty to fully and fairly consider the various pending pretrial motions before the court, critical CIPA issues, which is the Information Procedures Act, classified. Okay. So you're talking about a president, which is different than a vice president or a sitting congressman, senator. Very different rules apply to them as far as these protections, and rightly so. I do not want to lose those. I do not want to see every future president going to court to defend any decision that the other side disagrees with. That is bullshit, and it will screw up the system.
It's just going to hold up our system more than it's already held up.
Yes. I mean, these guys are making tremendously difficult decisions, whether that's Trump or Bush or Clinton or Biden for that fact.
Yeah.
Or someone for Biden's team is making these decisions.
Obama.
And they're difficult. Yeah, Obama, exactly. They're very critical decisions, and they're not always going to be right. They're not always going to get it right. But to then be able to drag them into court, well, now if you're able to do this with Trump and force him through, like, fuck him, he's the orange bad man we hate so much, he's the devil, he's worse than Hitler, fine. But you know what happens next, right?
Yeah.
They're going to drag Obama into court and make him explain droning fucking innocent Americans and civilians. His drone strikes do not look good.
No.
And whatever his decision-making was and whatever information he was getting, do you really want Obama being dragged into court 20 years after the fact to answer for that? Do you want George Bush hauled into court to answer for some people? Maybe do.
I kind of do. I kind of want to see Obama brought up on his charges, George Bush on his, but it's one of those things where I think
it fucks things up so bad. These guys are relying on
now.
And intelligence. And believe me, I have so little respect for all these people on their face. But at the same time, it gets into very muddy waters, in my opinion, about, the decisions these guys are making. I don't want them making decisions worried about, because the first thing, the first thing that happens is your White House counsel comes in and goes, sir, if we go through with this strike and it's perceived this way, or it doesn't go how we thought, this is going to open us up for criminal liability in 2 years when you're out of office.
This shit's getting way too complicated for me.
Exactly. So I think you take that, that's just my opinion. Yeah. And I'm saying that as someone who disrespects all of them across the board.
Oh, I do too. And
all of them.
As much as I do want to see him brought up in trial and things like that for the actual crimes, it's one of those things where it's not going to happen. And the damage they've done has already been done. Let's just publicly shame them and move on with the next guy. Yeah,
and they do. And their presidencies and their, legacies are hurt, whatever. But I think this could get into a spot where you end up, for political reasons, trying to attack. This just becomes another weapon to attack your opponent, which it has been made crystal clear is what's going on with Trump. You can hate him all you want, but that's what's going on. It doesn't take a genius to see it.
Yep.
And I do not want that to continue. I want it to stop right now. Go fight a fair fight. against each other in an election race.
No,
May the best man win.
It's just the Biden laptop in 2020 again. They're going to hold off on it, not let anything go, And as soon as he's in office, the laptop is real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Russiagate was bullshit.
Yep.
Huh. Our bad.
Oh, that's convenient now that he's already elected.
Yeah. Doesn't do us any good now. So the move threatens to derail the case as it increases the likelihood that it does not go to trial until after the election in November. The scare there for them, for the people that want this so bad to see Trump in jail, and there's so many people on TV just with glee, jacking themselves off on TV about how awesome it would be to throw a former president in prison. Like crazy people, insane people. For what? Paying off a whore? Yeah. Really?
But
this
he
is
used
what we're doing
campaign
now?
funds. Like that multi-millionaire somehow used. Okay.
Yeah. No, didn't use campaign funds. Used personal funds.
That's what.
And now they're saying he should have used campaign funds. Well, then you would have run him up the flagpole for misuse of
I
campaign
thought this whole
funds.
time is for him misusing campaign funds.
No. It's a technicality on how it was filed. is the way they're doing it. And I've actually heard people say, well, if he had used campaign funds, then it would have been legal the way this was filed. Blah,
No,
blah.
then they would have just got him for misusing campaign funds.
Oh, my God.
It's a lose-lose.
Are we going to go back in history and every time some fucking dude with a swinging dick paid off some whore to shut up about it to protect his marriage and family? Are we really going to go through and adjudicate all these?
Clinton's about to be in prison for a while.
Yeah, just stop. Give me a fucking break. So if Trump were to win, though, his Justice Department would just throw these out on their face. Yeah. So it all comes down to November. But if you can get guilty pleas before November, you could make the statement they want to make and throw them in jail and all that. I think that would backfire horribly. So Trump is currently on trial in New York for the hush money payments. Ridiculous. Faces a separate criminal case from Smith in D.C. involving allegations that he tried to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Hilarious on its face. That case is currently awaiting a ruling from the Supreme Court whether Trump has presidential immunity from prosecution. I think he absolutely should. He was still the sitting president at the time. That should grant him that immunity for kind of what we're talking about.
I agree.
Trump faces a fourth one in Fulton County, Georgia. That thing's falling apart on its face with that dipshit Fannie Willis and all that. But you knew these things were going to fall apart. Just how fast they were going to fall apart, I don't know that anyone could have seen. But when you've got bullshit case law and no precedent, this is what you fall into, and it comes off as exactly what it looks like. And I don't want to parrot Donald Trump talking points, but it doesn't seem that far off to go, this is a political witch hunt. That's absolutely what it looks and feels like.
There's something that a lot of people are forgetting is that even if you do throw him in jail with felony charges, he can technically still be the president. And he can be the president from jail. It is 100% legal to have a president in prison.
Yeah, I know.
So go ahead, throw him away. If he still gets elected,
and he'd
get
out.
Yeah.
He would just, I don't know how that works. If you pardon yourself.
I don't know if you can pardon yourself, but you can probably get your Department of Justice to pardon you.
Of course. This would all get thrown out.
He'll get his DOJ to get on him.
And I don't think they would go after Trump after, like, say Biden wins the election in November. I don't think they pick up these cases and continue to go after Trump. This is strictly about keeping him. They tried to keep him off the ballot. They've tried to keep him from being able to run for insurrection. That's why they kept throwing around insurrection.
Yeah.
If you can make that stick, but there's a reason they never charged him with insurrection.
Because it wasn't. It just wasn't. So even though they still now on TV every hour of every day claim insurrection, well, why didn't they charge him with insurrection? Yeah. And
they want that, like, you should be disqualified from running for president if you're an insurrectionist. Well, that's true if it was an actual insurrection.
Yeah.
But you're trying to fucking do this whole round peg square hole thing, and it just doesn't work. So, anyways, we'll see if this goes. The history of Jack Smith and the overrulings, the over-prosecutorial stuff that I've read, and I will not pretend to be some lawyer who knows his way around this stuff, but the stuff I've seen, when you get overturned 9-0 by the Supreme Court, you're doing it wrong, sir. Yep. And they're using you as the attack dog. So
looked up Jack Smith first article 5 hours ago. Game over for Jack Smith?
Yeah,
no shit.
Look further into Jack Smith, and you'll see that he's been in a lot of trouble for some of the things he's gone after, which is why he was handpicked.
Yep.
They knew he would do this. You're talking about a guy without morals, without ethics, without.
No, he's a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about a real piece of shit. And so it's like, yeah, get Jack Smith on it. He's a real piece of shit. He doesn't care about the law.
No.
He's part of our team.
He'll do
get
whatever
that
it takes
guy
to
who's
win.
not on our team. Yeah. Whatever it takes to win. God, talking to lawyers is so infuriating.
Yeah.
It's just because.
You did a show with one for a while.
Yeah, I know. But they are, to a person, like there is no, like it's almost like life doesn't exist in the gray like it does for the rest of us. Like they have an argument and they're right no matter what, and there's no they'll argue to the death that they're right about something, and it's like, can you not give a little ground, a little give and take here about like, oh, I see what you're saying there, I'll give you that, but
No, but they'll
blah,
do
blah,
that
blah.
and they'll spin it back and throw it in your face. That's how lawyers work.
It's
And
just
my brother's an engineer. He's the same way. It
It's
pisses me off.
infuriating. Yeah, engineers are tough. My dad's
It's
an
those
engineer. They're
little
tough
higher
to
level
deal with.
doctors, lawyers, engineers. Those type of three. They're three people that will take anything you say, just manipulate it back, rewire.
Well,
they'll do whatever they can do to it.
Lawyers specifically are trained
Yes.
in winning an argument, no matter how guilty. You know, Jay used to say, "Never put your lying guilty client on the stand."
Yeah.
For a reason, but yet you're still fully comfortable defending that lying guilty asshole, no matter what. You know, it's about winning the argument. What's your win rate and stuff like that? It sucks. It sucks, and they can't turn that off. They're gonna win that argument.
No.
And Jack Smith is one of those clowns. So, you know, whatever. We'll see where it goes. Author J.K. Rowling, haven't heard from her in a while. But
Oh boy, what she's up to. Our favorite was what do they call him? TERF.
TERF.
Yep.
I'm a proud TERF.
Trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Yeah, I'm a proud TERF, I think. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. So why is that a slur now? Why is that
Trans
deemed-
people are using it as a slur, even though it used to be because it was the women who were against the whole trans thing, because they're like, you're not real women.
Right,
So the trans
right,
started turning
right.
it into a slur to try and be mean
Yes.
back. It's like cis man. You know, it used to be just like, yeah, you're just a guy who isn't gay, and now it's a slur. You call a guy like, oh, you're just a cis white male. You're demeaning him now.
Yeah, of course you are. Plus, could you find a gayer sounding term than
know.
cis? Oh,
Cis.
you're a
You're
cis.
cis.
I mean, just call them sissy white males.
Yeah.
Because that's what it sounds like. I've never liked being called cis.
Yeah, I don't
Even though
either.
I've called myself that. You know, I'm a cisgendered white male. You know,
Yep.
whatever. So J.K. Rowling responded after radical trans activists swarmed a Paris event chanting calls for violence and even murder in French. A turf, a bullet, social justice.
Ah,
That doesn't
that's
even
smart.
rhyme.
It doesn't though.
A turf, a bullet, social justice.
I'm trying to rewrite that.
Yeah.
Why a bullet? You don't even have guns
Like,
in France. That's
yeah, no shit. It would have been better with a turf, a knife.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
Social
stabbings
justice.
in France.
Like, it doesn't even fit in with the way overused, hey,
Yeah.
ho, ho type thing.
How about get this turf off my turf? It's right there.
Yeah, that would work. Hey, ho, ho. Well, yeah, I don't know. A turf, a bullet, social justice, like that.
J.K. Rowling's got the go. It's got the right syllables.
But it wasn't even about J.K. Rowling in this. She just jumped into the conversation. So the trans activists gathered outside Assas University were calling specifically for violence against authors Dora Mutat and Marguerite Stern as they gave a talk about issues addressed in their book, questioning gender ideology. And that book is called Transmania. A turf, a bullet, social justice. A crowd of trans activists called for the murder of Marguerite Stern and I in front of the police at Assas University. Yes, this is where we're at. And they say the conference. We were given a conference on our new book.
Yeah.
Please let the world know what is going on in France. Moulet captioned video of the incident. Moulet included a translation of what she and Stern could be heard saying in the video as well. Incredible. I will file a lawsuit, she said, as she was escorted by a police officer. Did you hear what they're saying, Dora? Did you get it? A turf, a bullet, social justice? They have no shame. How can they say that in front of police? J.K. Rowling then responded to that and said, this is domestic terrorism.
Now, I just translated a turf, bullet, social justice into French. It kind of rolls a little bit better. It's un gazon, une balai, justice sociale. I can see that working a little bit more.
Okay.
My French is awful, but that's what I got.
No, it wasn't bad. Don't
I can see
don't
that
knock
rolling
yourself.
a little bit better.
Yeah, it does.
figured,
And
you know
if
what,
you were
this is a
yelling
French
it out,
argument, yeah.
does it fit under the hey,
Un
ho, ho?
gazon, une balai, Justice Sociale.
Je m'appelle.
Or Justice Sociale. That's what they write. I think they just say justice. I can just.
No, they probably do say justice.
Yeah, Justice.
Mutat also spoke about the book during a recent appearance on GB News. I'm assuming that's Great Britain news, probably, where she said that even though she viewed herself as a feminist from the left, the moment she had begun to question the gender identity orthodoxy, nobody on the left would talk to her or even consider publishing her book. Things had not gotten any better since it was published, as multiple stores refused to sell it right from the start, and trans activists were still calling for the ones who did stock it to get rid of it. The reactions to the book, she said, were really good on the right wing and really bad on the rest of the spectrum.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will only hurt faggots.
Yeah. Well, these people, my God. So if we're talking about J.K. Rowling, like, what is her crime against humanity?
She just didn't support the trans movement because she was a feminist. And she said these trans people are getting a little overzealous.
I wouldn't even say that.
I think it was a sports thing.
No. Well, there's been many things that she's jumped into of late. But as far as J.K. Rowling's crime against humanity, what J.K. Rowling is a fucking overly abundant supporter of women.
Yeah.
And women's spaces.
Yep.
Which would be like, she doesn't want one more girl being harassed about her body in a locker room, or one more woman being denied something, and she views it as, I am going above and beyond to protect women. I am a woman with power and clout and money. And I mean, this is someone, when you're talking about historically, like what J.K. Rowling has done, and with the Harry Potter stuff, to me, is every bit as big as Star Wars being created. Like the whole, like, and think about that. It's a universe. That's what I was just going to say, Garrett. It's a universe this individual created. The creative juices to be able to do what fucking Stupid Beard did, for Star Wars, Lucas. Like, that is incredible. To create its own language and have it be a global phenom, and then on top of that be a woman. This is someone who should be given every medal, that the highest honors that your society and your country gives to general population, the Medal of Freedom, I think it is in America. Whatever that version is, I'm sure, I don't know if J.K. Rowling's been knighted or something, but I'm sure. But she is basically cast out from public, polite society, and is now fighting this war, and is absolutely death threatened constantly. Even her own ingrate actors act like she's a monster. I've never heard her say personally, if you can find it, show it to me. I've never heard J.K. Rowling ever once say something negative about a trans person.
No, it was always positive about the females.
It's always about protecting female spaces.
Yep.
And I think up until a week ago, we all agreed that there is something to women needing a little more protection. No guy ever, and it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, no guy ever in the history of our fucking existence has worried about going on a jog for fear of being tackled in the bushes and raped.
Yeah.
Not gang rape, but just some guy clubbing us over the head. Like, I used to go jogging through the woods at 1 in the morning.
I'm more scared of them taking my phone and wallet than I am
100%, or shooting me, maybe. I've never, dude, I would throw on my headphones, totally unaware of my surroundings at 1 o'clock in the morning and go fucking run for miles back in the day.
And statistically, you're probably more likely to get hit by a car than anything.
Yeah. But women, 100%, you should have your head on a swivel if you're going jogging. If you're going out and it's getting dark out and you're on a trail somewhere, there is no doubt that I wouldn't feel comfortable. I'd be like, hey, you know, not to tell you what to do, sweetheart, but how about we do this in the middle of the day? You want me to go with you?
Yeah,
like,
I don't say that thing all the times. You know, even with Marina, who's part guy, it's like one of those things. She's like, hey, it's getting a little bit late out. I'll go with you.
Yeah,
you know, it's like I'm not saying that you can't handle it yourself. I'm just saying there's unpredictable people out there, and I don't feel like you get to deal with those alone.
I think it's also shameful that it appears that J.K. Rowling is on an absolute island by herself on this. that the people, because what she's argued for all these years is basically straight common sense, right?
Yeah.
That there are enough examples, and when you point it out, they act like you're even worse.
Yeah.
So some guy takes advantage of trans laws and goes into the YMCA and pulls his fucking full dick out.
Look at my dick.
In front of 12-year-old girls, nude, walking around, parading around with no shame. That's going to make a lot of girls, women feel uncomfortable.
I agree.
That it just is. There's a big difference between I just want to be here and be left alone. I'm in my little locker and I'm going to wait till the coast is clear before I change. Like, understanding the reality of the situation and going, this isn't going to make everybody comfortable. I'm going to do everything I can to not be an intrusion and make people feel uncomfortable. That is not the point here. I'm trying to feel as comfortable. I'm trying to feel comfortable in a space, and I have to respect that you're also trying to feel comfortable in that same space, because I feel not comfortable in this other locker room.
Yeah.
And I would never want you to feel as uncomfortable because of my presence as I feel if I was forced to go into this other locker room.
No, Marina
like
said that before. Same
that
thing.
seems very common sensey. And it seems very much that that's what J.K. Rowling has been arguing for. And if she retweets a story from someone else going, here's another fucking grown-ass man pulling a hard-on out in front of 10-year-old girls, is anyone have a problem with this? And they go, you fucking transphobe, and you're going to get trans people killed. And, like, it seems very common sensey to me, like, okay. So, and the problem, too, is there are people in parliament and in government positions. These are people that are supposed to be filled with nothing but common sense and look out for the greater of all of everybody. And you know what? Sometimes that means coming to the defense and not being an absolute spineless fucking jellyfish coward when it comes to J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling has said nothing hateful, nothing. You may not like what she says. You may not like the position she takes that disagrees maybe with yours, but she is anything but calling for violence or hate against anybody. I've heard her defend trans people and their right to happiness more than most. That's what I've heard. I also hear her, and I can't think of anybody in a better position than J.K. Rowling to be the person to stand up for young girls and women, and should be someone that's... they should have statues of her around the country. Here's a self-made woman, creative, who created a universe that the whole world has fell in love with. That's amazing.
I used to work
Try
with
it. Write a book.
Butcher. I used to work with a butcher biker who had a Harry Potter tattoo on his neck. It's
There's
one of those things,
millions
like, dude,
of them.
Everybody liked Harry Potter. It doesn't matter who you were.
No, it's shameful that no one's saying. They're all like, what? Yeah, she must be a TERF.
Yep.
I guess what these batshit lunatics are saying is true. And it's the whole give them an inch, they'll take a mile reality.
Yep.
Where, hey, ho, ho, we just, whatever bullshit chant they want has got to go, blah, blah. Harry Potter's got to go is one thing. Well, when that doesn't get your message quite across, it's like bullets and, you're openly talking about murdering people.
Yep.
At that point, now I'm pissed. Fuck off. No, you don't get to...
This isn't for nothing, not for all the Harry Potter fans out there, but a majority of the Harry Potter fans I do know are gay. So I don't
really?
know. Yeah.
I don't
get it.
I don't know that I'd say I'm a fan. I would never buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a tattoo.
No, I've seen the movies. I was like, that's cool.
I watched the movies way later than anybody else. Like, I never did. And then it was like, you know what? I should probably give these a try. I spend enough time talking about pop culture things or J.K. Rowling. I should see what this is about.
And I know all the references from the movies and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
but I didn't know who Gandalf was or any of that shit.
Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
Is that Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
I didn't know who
Dumbledore is.
Dumbledore. Yeah, thank you. Like, people would mention Dumbledore or which one is Voldemort? Man?
Voldemort is
Lord of the
Harry
Rings.
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yep.
Okay, Voldemort. Or what would they say? He whose name can't be said, or something like something along those lines. Like, I didn't know what those references meant, and so they're a little kiddie out of the gate, and then just like Star Wars, and then they get more.
You kind of grow up with Harry Potter.
Right.
That's where it is.
Right.
You see, as Daniel gets older, they kind of get more into older themes. And it's kind of cool because it was one of those things that she built the universe and she raised people with the universe.
Yes. Didn't they do more too? Was there more? Did
Yeah,
it
they did.
continue
It was
on?
like Fantastical Beasts. It's not quite
That's
a
right.
continuation, but it's its own little, in the universe
Side.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars and the Mandalorian. It's
Yeah.
its own thing.
Exactly. But is J.K. Rowling part of that?
I don't
mean,
know.
she's
Let's
obviously
check.
part of it on
Yeah, she
some
wrote it,
level,
but-
just because she is the creator of the universe, just like Lucas. No matter what you do with Star Wars, is going to have some attachment to it, as he should.
Yeah.
And J.K. Rowling, I would feel no different.
Yeah,
But
she's in charge of all of it. It's her world.
is she?
Yep.
Okay.
So any of those things that get written, she might not have written the Fantastical Beasts, but it was part of her world, and she was consulted on all of it.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And I would think that people that are fans of that world would absolutely want that
I
consultation.
get the same thing with
You
my
know?
Fallout because that's one of the reasons I love
What,
Fallout. It's
video
a video
game?
game. Yeah, it's like it's
Is that a
whole-
movie now?
It's a TV show on Amazon.
Okay, because I keep seeing that Fallout. Yeah,
It's a pretty good show.
Is
It's I got my own problems with it, but I'm just a fucking lore nerd, so that's all right. It's my own issues.
Yeah.
But the show itself is actually well done.
Is it new?
Yeah.
Okay, because it is
Just came
popping
out,
up
yeah.
in my
It just came
stuff
out.
recently.
It's
I
the
don't.
guys who made Westworld.
Okay, Westworld was great for like the first 8 episodes,
Yeah.
and then it fucking.
That's
don't
where
know
I think
what the
Fallout's
hell
probably
they
gonna
did.
go. I'm just being honest here.
They got themselves into loopholes where it was
Yep.
like, this would be so easy to undo. You could just do your face switch
Yep.
thing, and you can do that all over everywhere. Like I don't even remember, but I gave up on Westworld.
Yeah.
I thought it was such an awesome show in the beginning, and then
Yep.
it was like, nah, you've
And here we
cornered
go.
yourself. So I don't. What Fallout was a video game? Is
Yep.
it a first person shooter?
So it started as a like top down little point and click thing on 1997.
Oh no
Yeah,
shit!
and it's been going since. Like it started at one company.
So is Fallout like society's fallen out, or is it
USA and China had their own issues after World War II, and instead of inventing the processor or whatever, the microchips and shit, we started going all in the nuclear energy, and then we got to a future point. So this
I think
goes
you've told
past.
me some of this before.
I've told
I
you
think-
some of this before. It's all
I'm
fucking
sorry.
nerdy. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
and basically the tensions.
I'm
between,
trying to think if the plot line is something I'd be into.
Yeah.
Because if
The
and the
tensions
reason
between-
I ask
yeah.
it is because if it was first person
You'd like it.
shooter, I wouldn't. I'd
No,
be like, okay,
not the games, because the games you can play third person if you want. It's all good, but it's
But I mean, like
the show you would like. I think you
everything
would
they're
enjoy it.
producing now
Yes.
is like, oh, let's all grab an AK-47 and fucking,
No.
like,
It's
no.
way better. They do a lot of shadow organizations things, and like it's like a play on the U.S. government, but its own thing. Like the U.S. government is now a shadow organization in the nuclear apocalypse, and the Vault was this.
Okay.
It's this company that was supposed to be saving people all the time, but they were all doing secret experiments. And that's what's cool is now these vaults are open up, and these people are completely fucked up in different ways because they're all been experimented on and tested on.
Okay, well,
There's a lot of
maybe-
a lot of different parts to it and dynamics and lore and shit.
I've always said I am a dialogue person.
Yeah.
I'm a
Then play Fallout.
like no the plot, like movies.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a shit about smashing up things and shooting things and 20-minute fucking chase scenes, and
Yeah.
it's why I'll never watch a single Fast and the Furious movie.
What about the John Wicks? There's no dialogue in those, and I love them.
Yeah, you've seen one, you've seen them all.
I disagree.
I thought the first one was okay,
Yeah.
and it was kind of cool seeing the shit he was doing and the whole killing the dog thing. I was behind that. I'll kill that guy, taking a roops out.
Yep.
How dare you?
He had a good motive.
Yeah, I got that, but after like I don't even think I've seen John Wick 3.
I've seen all of them. I love them.
Yeah, that not my jam.
Fair enough.
It's the same thing with
And I go into them like stupid action movies. I don't think they're like some fucking groundbreaking plot
no, but
storyline.
to me, I will forever like something Quentin Tarantino's written that
Yeah.
I know the dialogue is going to be so strong
yeah.
and so good that like that's my thing.
That's what's gonna sell you.
I will put up with a 5-minute absurd car chase through a city.
Okay.
I'll put up with it barely, and I'll even sometimes fast forward through them. Like they're so absurd.
I
You're
love that
you're
stuff.
not impressing me, and now that everything's CGI-able, like none of it impresses
You know
me.
what it, to me is now is I'm a big fan of like stunt work and CGI work too. Like I just love that background shit. So when I
Yeah.
watch those stunt scenes, those chase scenes, I'm sitting there thinking about how they shot that and where they put the cameras. Like, oh man, they
Yeah,
had
but
that
it's
chase
all
car
like
here.
video games now. Like,
Yeah.
they're able to do it. Like they're using video game technology
they are.
to do that. And to me, it's like it's one thing when you've got actual stuntmen on the
Yeah.
ground.
But even then, I like
Like,
that video game
that's
technology.
cool.
I like the creation process of
Yeah.
that too. So
well,
I'm-
you're younger.
I go a
That's
step further
why.
on it. Yeah.
That's why. To me, like Goodfellas is so well written.
Yeah.
Like, and the violence is really well done.
Yeah.
In those, and I know I'm naming like some of the most classic movies
No,
ever,
you're
but
not wrong though.
But
'cause,
but
like,
that's where I'm at. Like, give me the storyline, the plot, and great dialogue.
Yep.
And, I will put up with a handful of fight scenes that go way too
Well, that's what I
long.
was going to say is, even my favorite movies are all Tarantino movies. I do love the actual dialogue.
Yeah.
Those are the top of the top, but I love an action movie too every once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
hold them
trying
in
to-
any kind of like esteem and regard, but
I'm trying to think of action movies that I really liked. And I don't know, if you gave me a list, I could probably rattle off
yeah, just
a
pure
bunch.
action movies.
Yeah, that would be considered action movies. I
Yeah.
guess like Die Hard.
Yeah.
Would be considered
I'd consider Die
action
Hard an
movies.
action movie.
But I think of the dialogue in that movie is so good,
Yeah.
and the character development
Well, it's
is
like
really
Inglourious
good.
Bastards. It's a lot of action, a lot of fighting going on, and shit, but the dialogue is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But you're talking about Quentin again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So we've got a girl is suing the education department. I love how they point out Biden's education department. So we've got a 15-year-old girl from West Virginia.
Oh, they're having a lot of problems.
West Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time it seems like there's another trans story coming out of there, a kid get raped, a kid getting this.
Is it West Virginia or is it Loudoun County, Virginia? Because there's a lot coming out of
That's
Virginia.
also a problem. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is in the water in Loudoun County, but holy shit, they are fighting hard there.
Yep.
No thank you to me. So West Virginia, the suing the Department of Education claiming there were a series of incidents in which a boy who competed against her and other girls in track and field events made rape threats against her. Classy. Just like a lady is known to do. What lady doesn't make an occasional rape threat
That is
from
a
time to
rape
time?
threat. Damn. It's
Yeah.
like guys don't even know they're like guys. It's usually
Like,
like, I'll fucking kill you, but
are
you'll
you
never be
even-
like, I'm going to fuck you in the ass.
Are you even trying to pretend to be a girl? Because I don't know a single girl that would make a rape threat. That
Yeah.
that really seems kind of
I don't either.
exclusive to the male.
Yeah.
If you're going to claim I'm just a lady and then talk about raping someone, that doesn't seem very
Do we have any
ladylike.
quotes on this? Because I don't know if it's like it could be anywhere from like I'm
Well-
gonna fuck you up to I'm going to fuck you and like meaning it.
Yeah, they don't give direct quotes. Now,
Okay.
we're taking the word of a 15-year-old girl. So, according to the girl's statement, she's currently a 9th grade student. It gets a little complex here. 9th grade student at Bridgeport High School.
Okay.
Competes in discus. So, that's the one where they do the spinny, and then
Oh, then they whip it?
whip the discus.
Yeah.
What a stupid event.
It's just disc
Just
golf, but
dumb.
cool, but Olympic.
Yeah. Shot put, another one. That whole neck thing and just like,
Yeah, I don't
what
get
is
it.
the fucking point?
Just see how far you can throw a rock.
no one's gonna watch it. You're
It's
never gonna make
probably
a
way
dime
cooler
off it.
back in the Olympic, like the old Greek Olympic days. but
Yeah.
nowadays it's just
100% true, Garrett. You're absolutely right. When it was like, what do we
Back
got?
when
We
they
got a
used to-
big rock.
yeah. And
Who
back
can
then,
throw
it's-
this rock?
It's
the
like and everyone's
farthest?
naked too, so it was a lot more interesting. It's like let's see
Yeah.
how big, let's see how far this naked guy can throw a rock. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds kind of entertaining.
All right, loincloths.
No, not even.
Stand in a row and see how far you can
Like
throw
old
this
Greek
rock.
Olympic stuff kind of interests me because it's one of those things where it's like, damn, they literally just got a bunch of people
Were they just
naked and made
naked?
them. Yeah, they were just naked and they just made them do sports.
Dude, I went and saw.
That was the Olympics.
I was in Mexico years ago, and we went to the pyramids in what the fuck's it called?
Yeah, Giza.
But not Giza,
that-
but it
I'm
was
joking.
it's one of those. God damn it.
And my brother was just.
But
there.
they had all kinds of stuff like that was from like ancient times.
Yeah.
And it was like sort of a stadium. So it's just walls, and it was like, oh, this was a sport. And it was like, what was the sport? And it was like, I can't remember exactly the details on it, but Chichen Itzu.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, I'm
That's
getting it
where
right
I was.
there.
But they had this like, it was just like cement walls or whatever, stone walls, and they had these rings at the top, and they were way the fuck up there, and you had to get something through the ring.
Yeah.
I want to say it even included like beheading people. And
No, it
throwing
was
heads
probably
through-
people's heads.
Yeah, people's heads through them. I can't remember exactly, and I'm sure I'm fucking that up.
And
but it
that's
was
how we
like-
got lacrosse.
yeah, fast forward a few millennia, and here we are. So yeah, that's where I'd put discus, shot put, this. But that's what she was in.
They're old sports. We need new sports.
Yeah, we do. The 4x100 relay in 6th through 8th grade, she went to Bridgeport Middle School, where in 7th grade, she competed in the 100-meter dash, pole vault, shot put, and discus, sometimes the 200-meter and dash and relay events. To my surprise, another student named BPJ, we'll just call him BJ going forward,
All right.
joined the girls' track and field team. BJ is almost 2 years younger than me and 1 year behind me in school because I know BJ's older brother from school. I knew at the beginning of the 21-22 school year that BJ is a male who identifies as a girl.
Okay.
BJ's about to hit a growth spurt, though.
BPJ stands for Boy Penis Johnson.
There you go.
There you
Yes. Big Penis Johnson.
Big Penis Johnson. That works too.
Balls Penis Johnson.
Also works.
Yeah. We're getting there. Initially, she was better than the boy in shot put and discus. So, yeah, when you're talking about you're 2 years older than him, and he's just coming into high school or middle school, he hasn't hit his growth spurt yet. I remember being in middle school, and a lot of girls shot up and started getting titties, and they were taller than us.
Grade, I was tiny.
Me too, dude. I didn't fucking hit a growth spurt until junior year of high school. I think I had my driver's license before, So initially she was better, but by the end of 7th grade, he threw about the same distance in shot put, about 18 to 20 feet. In discus, I typically beat BJ. I threw about 40 feet while he threw closer to 30 feet. But in the last meet of the 22 season, all of a sudden he threw almost 20 feet farther, 50 feet.
It's almost like guy's center of gravity is built up in the chest area.
Yeah, and the shoulders, not the hips.
Things that help for discus and shot put.
It's why you girls suck at jumping. It's why basketball for you guys is comical, watching you guys try to dunk a basketball. Because your center of gravity is in the hips.
Yeah.
And that's where...
It just is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm sorry. I didn't
got built
create
like
you.
that.
Don't take it up with me. By the next school year, I could tell BJ had grown up a lot, or had grown a lot, got taller, threw farther, got a deeper, more masculine voice, like ladies do sometimes. Hell yeah.
Just a lady.
In March 23, BJ finished ahead of the girl at the Connect Bridgeport Invitational in shot put and discus. BJ's athletic records show that BJ beat over 50 different female athletes in the 21-22 school year, displacing several of the females more than once. These records show that BJ beat over 100 different female athletes in the 22-3 school year, displacing them almost 300 times. I also lost to BJ on 4 separate occasions that school year. BJ made several offensive and inappropriate sexual comments to me. At first, it did not occur often, and I tried my best to ignore it. But during my final year of middle school, BJ made inappropriate sex comments a lot more often. Yeah, that's kind of the timeline of guys.
Yeah, you start hitting puberty, you make it a little bit more...
aggressive, a little more... not all of us.
Yeah.
But we start understanding more like what a blowjob means, I remember having a kid in grade school, and we were like 15 boys had this nerd trapped in the bathroom, and I remember kids holding a broom up like it was a dick, demanding a blowjob, and thought it was hilarious to have the 3rd grader going on the tip of the broom handle. That happened, and it was like none of these kids knew what a blowjob was.
No.
It was just a term that they'd heard, and that was the best a 3rd, 4th grader could come up with was.
He tried his best.
Hey, give me a blowjob. I was like, yeah, you're doing it wrong. The inappropriate sexual comments became a lot more often. It increased throughout that year, and the comments became much more aggressive, vile, and disturbing. Sometimes the comments were just annoying, like commenting, nice ass.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like something I remember a lot of girls saying.
Yeah.
Just a lady.
That's kind of
going around going,
there,
nice
boy.
ass.
You're getting a
little aggressive.
Yeah.
Little aggressive.
You shouldn't say that to women in general, just in general. Good rule.
Other times I felt really embarrassed, and I didn't want to repeat the gross things that BJ said to me. During the end of that year, about 2 to 3 times per week, BJ would look at me and say, suck my dick, like ladies are known to do. Yeah, that's actual audio of BJ at the time. I can't say, I could probably count on one hand the amount of chicks that I remember saying, suck my dick in class.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
I've heard it from chicks a couple times. It wasn't a common one, but...
Yeah. That one's always bothered me, too. I know some guys just laugh. They think it's hilarious when a chick says that now. I was always like...
But then again, when you're going to say, eat my pussy, it's like, that's also
that's gross. Even the word pussy.
Women getting aggressive like that, it's kind of like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's a dude's move.
It's a dude's move. It is. It really is.
You're classier than this.
We're coming off as sexist.
Yeah.
And they'll call me old man.
No, I'm just saying, like, usually I expect a woman to have more decorum in a fight like that.
Yes. Or in a sexual discussion.
Yeah.
I don't want a chick to be like, eat my box.
Yep.
Like, no, dude. No.
No, they got ways of, like, working around it so it sounds, fancier.
Yeah, exactly. And I want them to be fancy.
You want to come here and taste this?
No, if I grab a girlfriend with respect by the hair and
consensually,
go, suck my dick, and I fucking ram her face down.
Consensually.
consensually. I'm not, making her do it. But if I'm like, you suck that dick, like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's.
She signed the right papers. You got the toilet bowl around the neck.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I
The
see her on the neck.
mascara streaming down the face and just choke on it, fucking gag on it, choke on it. Still my favorite videos. They're not disturbing in the least.
No.
You know what the best part is? Anybody that's ever dated me or knows me at all knows how absurd on its face it is. The idea, even the fucking pretend idea that I would treat a fucking woman like that is hilarious. That's why it's so funny to me. It's fucking hilarious. Like, fucking gag on it.
Even the fans don't take it seriously.
Oh my God.
Nobody takes that seriously.
Nobody. They all know what a pussy I am. It's just hilarious. I don't even like I'm uncomfortable. Like when I see someone like talk about stuff like oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck you or something.
Yeah.
Like I just go, oh
dude,
I'm not
easy.
fucking anybody,
Yeah.
I'm just not. Certainly not now. I'm not putting it to anybody.
It's always when you get
It's
those
like,
leaked text messages from celebrity to celebrity, and it's always just like, I'm gonna come home and fuck you so hard.
Oh
against
yeah,
the guy.
fuck you so
Like,
hard.
What the fuck, dude?
Gross, dude. Stop it. First off, I don't know many girls. Well, I know a few that would dig that.
You gotta play it out a little bit first.
But it's that girl. That girl digs that. Like that girl exists.
The one who says
I've
"suck
met
my
that
cock" is
girl.
the same one who would probably be receptive to that.
Eat my ass. Like that girl exists. I'm not denying her existence, and
you
I
got a good
want her
thing
to be
going, it
safe
works
and
for
have
you.
fun. But I'm not that guy. Like, can't wait to get home and fuck you tonight.
Yeah,
when I get
I've
home,
never
you're gonna
had either.
suck my dick. Like,
No,
ugh.
I'm mild. I can't.
No. So she didn't want to repeat these things. Suck my dick being one of them. God, I can't even imagine saying that to a girl in high school or middle school. Would never happen.
Yeah.
Never.
Especially middle school.
No. He made other explicit sexual statements that felt threatening to me. At times, BJ told me quietly, I'm going to stick my dick in your pussy. Like ladies sometimes do.
Yeah.
Remember,
As
BJ
ladies
is a
do.
lady now, just going and competing against the ladies in
this guy's very
sports.
aggressive.
Kind of an aggressive lady. I'm going to stick my dick in that pussy. I can't even say the word. That's why I stick with vagine.
See, if you want to make it trans inclusive, he should say, I'm going to stick my clit in that pussy.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
He's trying to be
have a
trans,
clit.
I'm just saying.
I know. Well, then cut that dick off.
That's on. Go all the way. Go big or go home.
BJ made these vulgar comments towards me in the locker room, on the track, and in the throwing pit for discus and shot put. Most of the time, he made these sexual comments at girls' track practice. He often popped up beside me as he walked in and said things like,
Hope you brought your Costco card because you're about to get dick in bulk.
yeah, stuff like that. I don't know if we have other quotes from him. I'd love to hear them, but
Hey, pal, I'm about to tear you a new ass and sew up your old ass.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
His game's not rock solid, but
No, he's working on it.
her,
He's early.
excuse
her
me,
game.
her.
You're
I don't
right,
want
you're
to
right, my bad.
misgender anybody,
I
and
should
I don't
know
want
better.
you.
I should know
misgender.
better.
You should absolutely
Shame.
know better. Do we have any more audio of BJ
let's
at
see
the
what I got
discus
here.
pit? Play the one of him at the discus pit. Her,
discus pit?
excuse me.
Hold on. This thing's always so hard. We have the worst system for drops.
Yeah.
You eat organic? How about fresh, farm to table, a puree of my balls?
Yeah, that's something a lady like BJ might spit out.
I deserve to be blown before the fucking jacuzzi.
True.
True. You got to wind down after a track meet.
This also, let's see, made comments as our team was sitting in the end zone waiting for coaches to get practice going. At least one time it happened in the girls' locker room. I reported these sexual comments to my coach and middle school administrators.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Initially, the
That
administrators...
makes this whole story worse.
I
Every time you say
know.
Middle. I'm like, oh,
Dude.
geez. I keep thinking it's like, okay, maybe high school, like middle, high school, whatever.
And the difference between middle school and high school is so fucking
I'll put it like
huge.
this. I was straight middle
Huge.
school. I turned gay at the end of high school. There was a
Even
difference.
that, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But the way boys and girls behave in high school versus middle school is so radically different. It's why, like, when you're talking about rainbow parties in middle school, I'm like, oh my God, dude, that is crazy shit. She told administrators, initially the administrators told me that they were investigating. Of course, they never heard back. Shock. This is the way this keeps playing out, that we keep hearing is administrators are talked to and then nothing's done about it. I just don't. I can't imagine. Maybe that would have been true when I was in middle school or high school. I just can't imagine it. I can't. I got to think that administrators, my parents would have been demanded to be at the school. I would have been suspended. It would have been like, you're going to be expelled if you ever so much as look at that girl
social
again.
media, these administrators have to know it's even
coming
if they
out.
don't handle it. Social media is going to handle it. It's going to come out, and you're going to have to answer for it.
Which is where they go.
Yeah.
They're like, all right,
Every
fuck
time.
it. You've had a year and a half now, and now I've got a younger sister that's coming into this school system. So I'm going to go out publicly.
I'm just going to,
Good
plug
for
it.
her.
Good, plug them.
And believe me, there's not a single middle school girl out there that wants to be having these conversations with publicly and on social media. Because it opens them up to immediately like, well, what were you wearing that day?
Yeah.
What did you expect the lady to say when you walked by? You know, they open themselves up for abuse no matter what. So there's not a single middle school girl on earth probably.
Like going into high school, you're going to get the guys who are like, oh, don't talk to her. She's going to report you to the cops.
Exactly. Yeah, she won't even let you say suck my dick around her without reporting you to the police. Yeah, it would make your life
tell on my
miserable.
bros and I?
What's that?
Are you going to tell on my bros and I for having a conversation?
Exactly.
You're gonna
And
get
you
bullied.
know that
Yeah.
would happen.
Oh, yeah.
And the idea that guys would be mature about it and be like, hey, that poor girl.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I think back of girls that I absolutely know were abused and were not viewed as victims, but viewed as like, well, what did you expect when he got drunk around the football team? Like, I look back at it now and it's like, oh, I expect that nobody's going to rape that girl and just jam shit in her. That's what I expect.
That at worst, she was going to get a ride home from a stranger, and it ends
Right,
there.
right. That's what I would expect. As a more mature adult, I can say that. At the time, I don't remember feeling like that exact thing. And maybe even defending on some level, like, hilarious.
Yeah.
Not like having no real true empathy for what some other human being went through in what would only be the most vulnerable moment in their life. That's the immaturity of youth. It sucks, but it's true. So they never heard back, and nothing changed. From what I saw, BJ got very little or zero punishment for saying things that no other student would get away with. I also worry about the little sixth grade girls who are on the same team as BJ right now. If I were in sixth grade and had to deal with sexual comments from a biological male a few years older than me who was changing in the same locker as me, I wouldn't even play sports. It wouldn't be worth it. My younger sister will be a freshman in high school when he's a senior. She's a good athlete, but she's very shy, and I can't imagine how she would feel if BJ said those sexual comments to her while they were competing in sports or changing in the locker room. I do not want that to happen. I've got your back on this one, sweetheart, because
I do too.
No, there are not many girls that and you know what? Tragically, most girls are not going to come out publicly. Most people at that age, I shouldn't even just say girls.
Yeah.
Most people at that age are not going to come out publicly and put themselves through that, put their families through that. They're just going to not play sports. They're just going to quit the team. They're going and
You're gonna live
who
with it
benefits
forever.
theirs? Who benefits there?
Yeah.
If this girl and it doesn't. There's so much benefit to organized sports for youths and high school kids and middle school kids, and the vast majority of us that played those sports were never going to get a scholarship somewhere.
No, not even just sports, just clubs and everything in general. Like, this guy could be doing this in chess club, just lean up to each other, hey, suck my dick. It's like, these are just things you just don't do to people.
I was reading a story yesterday about and it wasn't in America, but it was in Sweden or something. And this girl made it to the quarterfinals, and girl, I mean woman, made it to the quarterfinals and is on their national darts team.
Okay.
And is now in the quarterfinal round and competing against a man, and said, I'm out. I'm not doing this.
Even darts?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I know, I don't know what the reason is. Maybe women are stupider and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would assume
I
darts
don't
is
know
pretty
what
neutral ground.
but in chess,
Yeah.
this happens, and guys kick the shit out of women.
Yeah,
in
you're
chess,
right,
I don't know why that is.
Nobody knows why.
For the most part, Jeopardy is like that
Yeah.
too. And it's not, I've often said that most of the smartest people I know are all women, like almost exclusively.
Yeah, that's
They're-
how I've
they
always
are.
lived.
And I know I joke a lot about it because it's funny. Like,
Yep.
oh my God, you guys can't even compete with men in darts and chess. Holy shit.
What
How
the
stupid
fuck's wrong
are
with you? No,
What's
I'm
wrong
the
with
same
you,
way. I always
ladies?
think women are way smarter than I am.
Yeah. So I don't know what that connection is. I don't know if science knows officially what that connection is, whether it's an adrenaline thing, whether
Just
it's a
weird,
focus thing.
I always think it's just more of a, and this is not a shot against women, but the way that your hormones are in your body.
Shoot away.
It's the way your hormones are in your body is that the women always just seem like their hormones are always more irrational and emotional.
Oh,
whereas
God.
the guys,
Okay. You know what,
the guys
Garrett?
are extremely,
You're going to get yourself in trouble.
I don't fucking care. I'm not looking for women out here. What are they going to do?
That's true.
Not
That's
date me?
true.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
That's true. That's true. I think you're...
I'm just saying, what are they going to do? Not date me?
I appreciate your opinion. I think what you just said is extremely
100%.
insulting. And I go out of my way to be insulting
Oh, and
to
I know.
ladies and girls.
Trust me,
I don't
I'm
have
the
a
first
problem
person,
with it.
I'm the first person to call my mom when I need help with anything.
The hot one?
Yeah.
You're not
The
talking
hot one.
stepmom. You're
No,
talking
no.
hot mom.
Yeah, the hot mom.
Yeah, it's funny. I think like, where did you read this? Out of Housekeeping?
I probably heard this from my
Good
mom.
Housekeeping 1950s edition.
No, I probably heard this from my mom. She's one of those.
No, what I would say when it comes to chess, or I think there is a comfort level when girls are bitching about, because there's a real push in some of these cases of women are just as smart as men.
Yeah.
We can compete in chess. How dare you? What you're implying is that women aren't good enough at something that doesn't require physical
then
strength
compete in
even.
chess.
And so and I understand why you would make that argument. I'm more interested in, I don't care why it is what it is, but the stats are pretty clear on this sort of thing. It doesn't mean a woman will never beat a guy in chess. But by and large, when you look at the numbers, or darts in this case, for whatever reason, it's not a real physical thing.
No.
But whatever that
terrible at
is,
darts and chess.
whether it's psychology, whether it's, no matter what it is, I don't think it's that uncalled for women to go, you know what? I want to be in a female chess club and I want to play against biological women. It's who I'm most comfortable with. And that's where, like, I don't think that's that outrageous to think. And there are plenty of mixed tournaments,
I was
mixed
gonna say, I don't think
clubs.
I've ever heard of like a male-only chess club or a male-only darts club. I've always thought that, like that, even like poker things.
Yeah,
like that. Like, I always
but they
thought those
do
were
have
neutral
women's
terms.
only.
Yeah.
They do have women's only.
Huh.
Yes, men don't give a shit if girls want to play
No.
them in bowling
No.
or in fucking darts or chess. Men don't care. But I understand if the women are saying, look, this is a spot, and you got to think of it down at its lowest level. If you're trying to learn something and you suck, you suck, like everybody does when they start anything. And it's like, I've got this new boyfriend. He's really into chess. I want to learn how to play chess and not embarrass myself.
Yeah.
In that context, you might feel much more comfortable going against beginner women instead of some male
Some guy
machismo
who's been
fucking
in it for a
room.
while. Yeah.
And you might just feel a little less comfortable in that situation, which I totally understand. And darts could be the same way. And it's like, fuck, I can't even hit the goddamn board. I'd rather be in a room full of women who are going to give me the sympathy, help, and like
Walk it through
little
slower.
things like that. And it's not about like muscle strength and stuff like that. But if women feel more comfortable in that environment, they should absolutely be able to have that
women
space.
are always better at is being more compassionate to each other and other people's
100%.
emotions. And that's kind of where I was going with the emotional thing.
I know
is that
you
it is
were.
more of a compassion thing, whereas guys get very cold and angry at each other. And I feel like guys to each other will guys fuck with each other until they're better. That they bully each other to get better. You know, it's like me kicking the shit out of my brother growing up just made him a stronger guy, and now he kicks the shit out of me. And I'm proud of him for it.
I was just gonna say, guys talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And when you get multiple guys in a room, I don't care if you're 20 or 50 or 80.
Yeah.
You're still going to fucking find
gonna
a weaker guy and
yeah.
fuck with him. You're going to bust
Exactly.
his balls. You're going to find out your buddy did something stupid and you're going to rag him without mercy. That's the way guys are. They bust balls. They fuck with you. And I totally would understand these professional women in a chess club or in a darts club who are coming out, their words, not mine, and saying, look, this is where I feel most comfortable. And I can totally understand, like, you don't even need to give me a reason as to why.
Yeah.
But I can imagine if you get a male in there and he behaves like a male and starts making you in some way not feel as comfortable as you could, then that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. And I'm sorry if that makes me a turf or if that offends somebody's going to be offended no matter what. And I just think you know, Do I have to keep creating my own clubs to where I don't want someone with a dick in here?
Yeah.
That's what I don't want, is someone with a cock and ball set in here. Sorry, no offense. Do you be your to whoever you want to be, but fucking leave me out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's a problem with it. I wish I had the details about the I think it was Sweden with the but I was proud of the girl. She was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. And I think until more women are comfortable enough going, no, it's not okay for us in all high school Connecticut track events to expect to come in third place or less because there's 2 trans boys that are going to win these things and have been for years.
Yeah.
That, I think, is not cool. And I think the only way you change that is a unified front and going, no, this is unacceptable. It's not fair. You fucking know it's not fair. And I am not taking home 3rd, 4th, and 5th place ribbons when I'm worked my fucking ass off
You should be
to
getting
be one of the
first.
top girls in the state, and I want to compete against the other top girls in the state and see where I match up. You know, Riley Gaines is fighting that battle virtually alone right now and getting her ass kicked by people. She gets a lot of support. Unfortunately, it only seems like it comes from the right. But, you know, I feel bad for her. She didn't do anything wrong. She objected to a 6'4", well-endowed man walking around her locker room naked all the fucking time and making her feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. And I think she
And
did the
everybody
right thing,
behind the
right?
scenes was saying the same fucking thing.
Yep.
They just didn't have the clits to go up to the press and say this is wrong.
Yeah.
Why are none of you men defending me?
The coolest thing they did is when he won his first place or whatever, they all just stood to the side with their
Yeah.
second, third, and took their own picture.
Yeah.
Like, that was the best thing you could have done
Yeah,
right there.
that's a
Powerful.
little bit of unity and powerful.
Exactly.
And it should speak volumes too. When they actually came into a dead nuts tie,
Yep.
Riley Gaines and Leah Thompson, when they came in literally to the millionth of a second or hundredth of a second tie, which is crazy when you think about a
she's trained.
6'4" biological male competing against a 5'4" female. That's incredible on her part. And when they both tied in whatever event that was for 3rd place, 5th place, whatever it was, and they only had 1 trophy for that, and they gave it to fucking Leah and said, we'll mail you yours. That should tell you everything you need to know. They wanted the photo op with the trans girl in that situation. I think there are a lot of trans people, and I'd like to hear from more of them coming out, because I know there are level-headed, common sense trans people out there that find this disgusting as well and find it horribly unfair. And, you know, they're going to need to speak up, and women are going to need to speak up and defend, you know, their spaces.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some email and get out
All
of
right.
here. Did you have something you wanted to
I was
read
looking
over
for a
there?
video, and then my mouse broke halfway through and kept doing that drifty thing. And
I'll
then it
go
stopped.
get you a new mouse,
It's
dude.
all
I'm
good
so
now.
sorry.
It happens sometimes
What was
randomly.
it?
Sometimes the mouse just keeps drifting, but it's just a video about this little fucking Instagram reel I found the other day. It made me laugh so hard about a girl asking to be treated like the guy with his friends, and he just starts ripping into her in the meanest way possible. And his friends in the back, you know, his other friend.
Do you
or
want to
whatever.
play it? Is it worth
I
playing?
don't have it. I can't
Okay.
find it. So
all right.
you're
That's
good.
all right. Flying a foreign flag. Someone is the subject on this. So this goes to Elon Musk's idea that we talked about the other day. Like, if you want to fly a foreign flag,
You should get a one-way trip there.
and you
Just
have
for a
to
period of time.
you stay there. I think Dennis here is on to something.
Okay.
He says, I love Elon's idea. My wife has always wanted to go to Aruba. Do I just take a picture of the flag flying and send it to Elon to get my free trip?
That's
There's
a little flaw in that.
Dennis, you found a loophole here.
Found a loophole.
It's got to be to some
It has to be an
shithole
active
country.
protest. You have to tear down an American flag in an active protest and then put up the flag.
But you could still get your way. It's got to be a
part
third
of
world
a protest.
shithole.
You have to run in. You know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he can run into an Israel-Palestine protest and then get the flag down or replace it with an Aruba flag, he gets the trip.
Yeah,
But
I'd be
you
okay
have to
with
get
that.
into the protest. And get
Well,
through them
then
all.
you're encouraging more violence because more people will try to do that.
Yeah,
to
but
get
it's
the free trip
third-party
to
violence.
Aruba.
It'd be funnier.
I think it's got to be some third world shithole that you pretend to care about that you would never actually want to step foot
Yeah,
in.
but all those like Caribbean destinations are that.
Well, sort of, but they still have beaches
Yeah.
and the
No, they have nice
coconut
parts.
drinks and shit.
You have to get dropped into the worst part.
Okay, yeah,
There you go.
That's not bad. EVs. I got this. It's a little lengthy. We'll read this
Yeah.
one. I just want you to know, I get your take on EVs. It's most people's take. So my thought was you're forcing something on us that nobody asked for, and then you're demanding all these things. And I found it hilarious that you're losing billions of dollars a year. It's like, oh, you're going with the WNBA model now. Let's just lose money every year and keep forcing it on people, something nobody asked for. That's kind of my take on it. That being said, there are some fucking dope-ass EVs out there I see. That EV Hummer, which is what he's got a picture of here.
I still disagree.
It's fucking sick, dude.
I think those things are so gay.
I think that thing looks.
If you're gonna buy a
bad as
Hummer, be
shit.
a man and get a gas guzzler.
Well, I did. I had one back in the day. It was.
You had the man version.
I did. I had to special order mine.
You
from
had that.
Tennessee
I'm a big man with a little wiener version.
No, I got one when they first came out, and I had a fucking stick shift. I had to order
Yeah.
that goddamn thing from Tennessee. They have it shipped here because they didn't want to give me a stick shift. So
You need a stick to play with in your big truck.
I fucking love sticks. Yes, I did.
no, manuals are fun.
But I've ridden in a buddy's Tesla, and they're fucking sweet. But don't pretend like you're saving the environment. Where you're saving the environment, you're also committing genocide and slavery 10,000 miles away. So if you're cool with that, I'm cool with it too. I don't really give a shit about those people on the other side of the world. It doesn't affect my existence
it's my
at
cell
all.
phone. It's
But
like I've come to terms that this is made by slave labor.
yeah,
That's all right by me.
100% slave labor.
I still bought the phone.
Great. And your fucking EVs are no different. You're cobalt mining and your fucking rare earth minerals to
It's
get
the
it.
same batteries, pretty much.
They're not paying $25 an hour and good health care for them and their family. Okay, they're out there in flip flops and pickaxes to make your phone and your stupid EV. So that was kind of my take on it. Yeah. So John says, I had an EV for a year as I worked for GM, but I had one of the most awesome EVs out there, the 24 Hummer EV SUV.
My friend and I used to make fun of those in Call of Duty because they got a promotional tie-in, so you could play with so we used to just get in them and like sneak up on people in our big Prius.
Yeah.
That's what we kept calling it, is the big Prius.
Oh, because
And then we just sit there and fuck with them. We're just
Yeah.
like, you can't hear us, we're in a big Prius.
Yeah.
We start acting gay in it.
You guys are such
We were
homos.
acting. Oh, dude, we were having a fucking great
gayer
time
by the moment.
We
I'm
kept trying to
sure.
pick up other players. Like, get in our car. Come on. It's gonna be fun. It's an EV.
Oh, gay humor. You're hilarious.
It's an EV.
So he goes on. Let's hear John's take.
All right.
This thing was unbelievable. The version I had wasn't even the most powerful one, but you put it into WTF mode, watts to freedom, and it is ridiculous fast, like Corvette fast from 0 to 60.
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
what I do give electric cars is that there's no delay for a gas engine. You know, you have to compress the gas, get the combustion, then send that through the car to turn the wheels. It's like, this is just straight up electric signal. Gone. As soon as you get the gas pedal, you go.
And I love hearing
And they're always gonna have that.
Elon Musk is going in plaid mode, which is a callback to Spaceballs. Like, that's fucking dope, dude. That's a guy with fuck you money for real.
Dude,
and he's doing what he
programmed
wants.
the cars to
It's
dance for no
hilarious.
fucking reason.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Hilarious. Go nuts, man. Have fun. You can afford it. You can do it.
You put video game consoles into them.
Hell yeah. I think the most powerful one is the PU version, and it goes 0 to 60 in like 3.5 seconds. The one I had a 180 kilowatt battery, about double the size of the Lightning, about 800 horsepower. The PU version has 1,000 horsepower. Range on it, 300 miles. The torque on these three-motor beasts just nails you into the seat when accelerating. Performance-wise, this thing was an absolute pleasure. I would charge it at home 95% of the time. To charge it from almost empty to full costs about $30, but I would rarely wait to charge it when it was empty. I could tell my charger, don't start charging until 7 p.m. when electricity rates drop. I would come home from work, plug it in, get up in the morning, full ready to go every day. So convenient to have a full tank every morning without having to stop anywhere. I had no issues in the winter. Yes, I would lose some range, but that can be improved by preconditioning the batteries, warming them up. In the morning, while it's still plugged into the charger, you can set that up in the truck software, say be ready at 6 a.m., and will automatically have the truck and battery warmed up by 6 a.m. for the drive to work. As for charging, there are apps that help you find where chargers are, and there are plenty out there. They also tell you if they're working, broken, and people leave feedback on their experience at those places. So you do need to plan your trip out versus just getting on the road and making stops wherever.
Yeah.
We took it to Cedar Point last year, and they just installed a new charger near the park. We went there to charge up the night before, charged me $0. I think I was in the promotional period of it, as it had just opened a few days before. Fast charging sucks as they rape you on the rate.
Yep.
Winds up twice to 3 times as much as charging at home. The four-wheel steer on this made parking this beast in tight parking spaces a cinch. I had one guy at U.S. Park compliment me. He said he didn't think I would get that big truck in that spot that I was headed for, and I just threw it in there like it was nothing. crab walk on it. Had people doing a double take. So much fun. I do agree that it is not great environmentally. I loved it because it was actually cheaper to drive than a gas car. 300 miles for $30.
Yeah, it's cheaper to drive than like a regular SUV.
Yeah, in a big SUV, and the performance was ridiculous. My family absolutely loved this truck. They were all upset when I finally had to turn it in. She is not one for driving a big truck, but she loved driving this one. I think she cried a little
It's
bit.
because they're pussy trucks.
Yeah. Dude, it is not a pussy truck.
It's
That
a
thing
pussy
looks
truck.
fucking dope,
It's a
man.
pussy truck.
I see it on the road, and I'm like, holy fuck, that thing's amazing.
And I'm going to keep
I've
laughing
never-
as I drive past that thing.
That's
while it burns.
fine. Look, I understand. You can't afford one.
Oh, I
get
can't.
it.
They're
No,
100
you can't.
You know what I heard
But-
the whole time? The whole time I just heard, I have money, fuck you. And then I also heard, if anything breaks on this car, I'm out $5,000 immediately.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what those are. That's not the argument
It's
for
just
today.
anything that breaks on
Maybe.
those electric cars,
But
you
I don't,
can't replace them yourself.
Dude, you want to call the Prius a fucking gay-ass little faggy car? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But, dude, some of those EVs that are out there, I'm like, oh,
Look, I can
that
admit,
thing is,
yeah,
and you could tell that fucking Hummer is
Yeah.
a beast.
No, it's a
absolute
beast, yeah.
beast.
The Teslas
no
are
doubt.
beasts. I just
it's
still think they're-
horrible for the globe.
Yeah.
Horrible. And I don't want you to force it on me and then lose your ass on it and
Yeah.
act like I'm the dickhead. So he does say for people like Garrett, I
Okay.
do get they aren't for everyone. But if you were a 2-car household, I could easily see one being an EV.
Yeah.
I told the wife her next car may very well be EV.
Just get a hybrid.
She barely goes further than 60 miles in a day, just groceries and school for the kids.
Get a hybrid.
We usually use what I get for work as a travel vehicle. This truck, to me, broke a lot of the paradigms of EVs. Small, slow, ugly, lame. And if you have a charger at home, convenience. Never have to stop to get gas for the daily grind. Thanks for the
I
entertainment,
do
John.
disagree with him saying they're slow. EVs are actually extremely fast, and I'll give him
Well, I think that historically,
that.
though, that was
historically,
the argument.
yeah. And that's the thing with EVs with me, where it's like, no, it's just straight up motor to battery to wheel. That's
Fast
it.
as shit.
Fast as fuck.
They are.
Tesla's fast as fuck. The problem I have with them is just that we don't have the infrastructure for them, and they're impossible to work
But he
on.
was saying they sort of do. And
Unless
with the
you're,
apps,
unless
I
you're an
believe that.
electrical engineer, you can't work on. Like right now, I could open up the hood of my car, tell you what's wrong with it, where a belt's going on, or what's going on here. Like I could tell you everything on the inside of things.
True.
You need a computer system and diagnostics cables. You need everything hooked up.
Well,
If you
it's
just
getting
know
that
what's
way
going
with
on.
regular cars,
It
too.
is, and I hate those regular
I
cars.
do too. But, you know, there's good and
I
bad.
know, I'm
It's
kind of
going to
getting
be
an old man screaming at the clouds here.
No, not at all. But I look at the EVs like
I think they're
when you
novelties.
have sort of novelty-ish.
Yeah.
When you have fuck you money, what do rich people buy?
Yeah.
Rich people buy a Porsche. They
Yeah.
buy a Lamborghini.
They buy a fucking slingshot.
They buy all kinds of toys. They buy four-wheelers. They
Yep.
buy, like, out in Arizona, everybody's got a fucking
That's what I was saying. The
$25,000, roam through the desert RV
yeah.
things. Like the Polarises.
Yep.
Like those are toys. In Michigan, everybody that cares has a boat.
Yep.
Jet skis. Those are toys. I look at these EVs as nothing. Like
I look
if
at them
I
as
was going to
toys.
get one, I don't care about fucking the globe and saving climate
Yeah.
and fuck all that. I think so much of that is nonsense, and you're not going to fix it anyways. But if I wanted a toy
Yeah.
and I want to go into plaid mode in a $150,000 Tesla, awesome. And if I ever got fuck you money and could do that, awesome. If I wanted to have one of those fucking Hummers for fun and crab walk it, awesome.
Yeah.
It's a toy. It's dope as shit. And I guarantee that thing is amazing. It probably does so many cool things that he didn't even mention. And I know the Tesla that I've been in, the guy that owns that Tesla that I know has absolute fuck you money.
Yeah.
Absolute fuck you money. You're talking about multiple homes, thousands and thousands of square feet each, fun playground shit here and there. Of course he has that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you get one that's like, let's go into fucking insane mode and have some fun?
And
You're
see,
like,
that's what I'm
"Hell
saying. Like, if
yeah,
you got the
dude."
money for it, go for it. My
Have
mom
fun.
just bought a Volkswagen. What's it called? It's just one of those Volkswagen
She's
SUVs.
hot.
It's a new one, right?
Yeah. You're talking about the hot mom.
Yeah, the hot mom.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it's like she bought the Volkswagen. And my brother and I both looked at her like, yeah, this car is cool and all, but if it breaks, you're fucked. We can't
What,
work
an
on
EV?
it. No, it's just a regular car, but they're so advanced and all this crazy technology.
Oh, yeah. But
and
what
the German cars especially are
They're
weird
giving her
about-
no option, though, because they're
No, but
all doing that.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the German cars, the European cars that in general are just so hard to find the right parts for, the right things
Oh,
for. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
told
yeah.
my mom, I was like, if you have any repairs needed on this car, I'm sorry, but
We can't
usually-
help you.
We can't help you because usually my brother and I could just kick open a hood, figure out what's going on, and fix
But
it.
I don't know what you could do with my Ford Explorer.
I could still
like every time I take it in somewhere, they plug it up to a computer system.
And that's what happened. Like my car just had the transmission blew up because I was trying the PCR chip.
Well, yours is old enough that you could
it's
probably
2013, and they had a recall on the transmission that I found out about after it blew up. Thanks.
Yeah,
but no, my transmission blew up because
well, if it was recalled before it blew up, can't you take it in now?
I didn't know about it. No, and I'm past the mileage for the recall. I was already past the mileage when I fucking that it blew up.
So stupid.
That's how they do it. It's like you can only get up to 100,000 miles and the recall's off. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sitting at 140 now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So no. And then no, my car had the transmission issue because I tried the PCR chip, which changes your gas to fuel ratio, makes it go a little bit faster, a little more horsepower, better fuel efficiency. And I was just doing that to fuck with my car, make it a little bit faster. And then all of a sudden, it just blew up my entire transmission. So I learned how to rebuild a transmission so I could get it all back together and have a working car. All for me to just hit a wall of Ford saying, no, you need to put Ford proprietary software in the transmission. Now you owe us $3,000.
Oh.
It's like I literally learned how to build a transmission, bought the parts, put it all together, had
Don't you
everything
feel
going.
good that you've learned how to build a transmission?
Oh, I feel like I just fucking wasted all my time and I don't need that anymore.
That's funny, man.
So all these new cars fucking suck.
Yeah, no, they don't. They suck when you don't have money.
They're good cars.
When you have money, it can be a lot of fun.
They fucking suck as a person who likes, modifying my own cars.
Yeah, and believe me, dude, the person that we're talking about that's going to buy that,
they're not going to modify
a 26-year-old that's figuring his way out in the world.
I'm not figuring him out. I mean,
yeah, you are.
I know my car
you're a toddler.
Yeah.
And you're eventually going to have money. You're eventually going to make more money and eventually have more toys.
But here's my
That's
problem.
what happens
My toys
when you
are
get
like
older.
Mark II Supras. That's my dream toy right there.
I don't even know what that is.
I love them so much.
What is it? An old car?
It's an old Toyota.
Yeah, okay.
Like a
well,
1980s
We'll go
Toyota.
get one of those.
Yeah.
And soup it up however
I'm looking
the
at
fuck
them right
you
now. They're
want.
like $8,000. It's not bad.
And then that EV will kick the shit out of it.
That's
for
fine.
You.
My car will infinitely be cooler.
But it won't.
It will.
Won't. It'll be cooler to you.
Yeah.
That's what you need to understand. It'll be
That's
cooler
fair.
to you.
It's his Hummer.
and he got it free at work.
Yeah.
He's one of those people.
Oh yeah,
you
my
know,
work
that's
gave
getting
me like
the
a free Tesla, or
free $100,000 car.
If my work gave me a free Prius tomorrow, I drive it.
The only thing I would tell John, our listener, is why didn't you bring that fucker over here so I could check it out, and we'll see how gay it actually
Next
is.
time he gets one,
Yeah.
I'll give it a gay test.
Yeah, I mean, the gay guy's calling it gay. I don't know, dude. I totally understand
I
the,
just don't
what are you
like
gonna
EVs.
what do you make it up for with your Hummer? What are you
Yeah.
gonna small thing? Like that stupid age.
It's the same thing as a lifted truck. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. I totally get that. But I got to tell you, man, the Hummer has done nothing for me for 15 years. I've looked at 1,000 of them, see them on the road. I'm like, whatever. I had one early on. It was fine. I had it for 2 years and then got rid of it. No big deal. But seeing that EV Hummer out there, I was like, oh, shit. They're coming to play.
Yeah.
This isn't bad. This is fucking kind of dope. And it reminds me of kind of what Elon has done with the Teslas and some of those where it's like, okay, we're taking the gloves off now. We're fucking having fun with these things. And I'd love to be in one and go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds in a truck that big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I know the guys that love doing the races, the unsanctioned drag stuff. Those guys are getting the fucking dicks kicked in by some Teslas out there, man.
I don't
and
race
it's
anything
crazy.
electric.
Well, if those electric ones get in there, though,
It's cheating. It's like the electric cars are the trans athletes of the car world.
I don't know, but I don't think you could just throw anybody in one of those cars and have them win. That was some of the
Depends,
stuff
like-
I was watching, and a
yeah.
lot of this is just bullshit research on YouTube. But it sounded like this driver in this Tesla was kicking the shit out of everybody. And if you would have just put me in that car and floor it, it wouldn't have been that I beat all that.
And there are Teslas that
So-
come with manual transmissions, things like that. I don't know how that works. But
Really?
I think
Are
so.
there?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember. I could be totally fucking stupid on this one.
Yeah, the statement sounds totally stupid on
Yeah.
this one. But wait, did you say manual transmissions?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Oh no! You know what I was installing 6-speed manual transmission. I watch a lot of
On the
car mod
are
videos.
they paddles?
No. I watch a lot of car videos, and I just watched a lot of videos of people putting transmissions into Teslas and stuff and gas engine shit. I love that shit.
Like workable ones?
Yeah, workable.
No.
Yeah,
What would be the point?
multiple YouTube videos going on just so you can drive a manual and have a Tesla.
What do you put a clutch in it?
Yeah, these guys.
What?
Yeah, people modify.
And
the shit
does
out
it
of
does
everything.
it change the RPMs and all that shit? Like does it actual function like a?
Yeah, they all function like that. It's a weird. It's
kinda
I don't know
cool.
exactly how it works.
Can you drive a stick shift?
Yeah.
I love stick shift.
I do too.
Now that I'm an old man, I'm less inclined to buy one. Like my brother just got a Bronco last year and demanded a stick. He still loves driving a stick, and it was like, who wants a stick?
I don't do it anymore,
I-
personally.
I only had sticks my whole life.
Yeah.
Like growing up, every car I got
I would
was
do a stick shift
Now
for
I'm
like
like, no.
a fun side project car. I would never do it for a main
Yes.
driver nowadays because right now it's like nobody else drives stick on the road. So like I can, when I was driving my Fiero, the worst thing was when I was at a light and I saw someone pull right up behind me. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
I'm going to roll back into you.
I'm gonna roll back into you now.
Try that in San Francisco. Holy shit.
It's like, I'm on a hill and now I got to
fucking
pull
hill
this really
big.
quick before I back into the fucker behind me who doesn't know I'm in a manual.
Yeah. I remember running into
And
that.
nobody
too.
really gets that you have like, when the light turns green, you got to get hit first, then you hit second, then you start going, It's like,
Yeah.
you start going with first
Yeah.
a little bit, but second's where you really start kicking your speed in. And people get so mad at you at intersections.
I will say, if I were to buy, like, if I had money to have like a toy, like, oh, I've got my everyday car, and then I've got a Porsche, or I bought a Lamborghini, or something like that, I would 100%. Paddles on the steering wheel are not fucking manual.
No, they're not
Fuck
manual.
off with
Fuck
that.
you.
That's a
I
joke.
agree.
Those don't count. Stop trying to pretend they do.
Nope.
But I would absolutely get a manual. And I know that no one driving a manual in today's Ferrari or Lamborghini can do it as well and be faster than the automatic.
No, the
but I
automatic
don't
is
care
100%
about
faster.
The
Car guys know
automatic
that,
is
yeah.
yeah.
All
I
car
don't
guys know,
care
yes,
about
automatic's
that.
faster, but manual's cooler.
Yes, but I would absolutely go with the stick shift because, and I know I wouldn't be as fast as the guy in the automatic, but I don't give a shit. People are probably so bummed hearing me talk about cars at all, but
That's all right. I'm probably saying
whatever.
shit that they hate too.
Oh yeah, they're taking issue with you too.
I think the moment I said my dream car is a Mark II Supra or a
No,
Toyota 80,
there's probably some
86.
people that respect that.
Yeah, but I feel like most people are like, oh, those fucking jab traps, rice
Yeah.
burners.
Once you get one of those old Dodge somethings, I had a buddy that had one, tiny little thing, like a 2-door. This-
Viper?
No,
those got the
no,
longer
no,
hoods.
no, not the
Okay,
Viper.
Dart?
No, but
'Cause old Darts
dude,
go quick.
it looked like a fucking go-kart, and
Oh.
this thing was an absolute monster.
That's what I was saying with the
This
Supras.
thing fucking hauled ass,
Yep.
like you couldn't believe, and it was like, holy shit. Why does this look like such a Mo car on the outside, and this thing is a
Those are my favorite
motherfucker?
cars.
And I can't, if someone said it, maybe I'd know. Like you're probably talking about the Dodge,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Maybe I'd recall what it was, but I remember just being like, oh shit, this is not what it appears to be at a light. I don't like Travis. For
I
instance,
drove one of those for a while.
Travis has a car that he brings over every once in a while. It's a Pontiac. I
Ooh,
think.
Probably a GT.
Yeah,
Pontiac GT, all black. My uncle has one. It's all black. It's fucking
dude.
so nice.
He took me down Franklin Road, or 13 Mile off of Franklin Road one day, and it was just like, hang on.
Yep.
What? It just opened this thing up, and it was
used-
like, oh,
I used to have a 01 Chrysler Sebring, but the engines, because Chrysler and Mitsubishi share a lot of parts, the engine was pretty modified by the guy who owned it before me. And it was just this rust bucket 01 Chrysler Sebring that could fucking haul ass with an
Yeah.
old Mitsubishi Eclipse engine in it.
Really? Stick shift or
Yep.
automatic?
No, automatic.
Automatic.
But it was fucking. I used to like trick people in the car, like street races.
Yeah.
I love cars like that. It's why
Yeah.
I drive a Focus, because it's a modifiable thing. Part of me wanted to try and get the
Is
ST
are
and
you going to
RS.
try to claim that your Ford Focus is
It's not
badass
fast at all.
Okay,
No.
good.
This car,
was
I've
gonna
given
s-
up
I was
on
gonna
it.
come
I
over
got
and
it.
slap you, Garrett.
I got it thinking I could modify it and have some fun with it, and then
You probably
everything-
could.
No, everything I modify gets held up in the Ford computer or whatever, and then I have to go get it fucking reprogrammed.
Really?
Yep. They said no. Go.
You
fuck
need to get an
yourself.
older car.
That's
where
what
you
I'm saying.
Can,
I
where you
need
can
an
just
old-
get.
just an old Toyota,
Yeah.
old Honda. Those things last forever.
Yeah. True.
My brother had a 99 Prelude with 3 engines strapped together, ran on diesel oil. That thing was a fucking monster.
Yeah. You're outside of my world here.
Yep.
I just give me some stock, something or other that I can have fun with. That's my whole point of toys. I don't
Turn
wanna-
the
don't
emails
make
to
me
a whole
work.
car segment.
Yeah. Don't make me work. Don't make me tweak. Don't make me fucking have to add anything. I'm good.
Yeah, I got some back. It said no jab car is fine. Just learn how to drive a stick so you don't roll or drag ass in first.
Dude, that's
Rolling's a little bit harder though, because I'm talking. I know that you can do it without rolling, but these people get right up on your ass and they don't.
yeah, you can, but I would say driving a stick shift on Michigan roads
Thank you, Dan.
is 1,000 times different.
Yeah.
If you're in the city proper in San Francisco,
Especially in traffic,
and a
too.
stick, and you've got bumper to bumper, dude. No,
No.
you are like even in an automatic, your car's gonna roll backwards
Yep.
before you can go forwards. Even in an automatic, that's how steep the fucking slope is to those hills in San Francisco. So I don't give a shit how good, because believe me, I'm as good at driving a stick as anybody you've ever met, and trust me,
Mike knows his sticks.
I could keep that thing about as fucking steady and stable and without going backwards.
Yeah. I go back
on those hills, it's tricky.
First gear, I'm a little shitty. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I'll admit. Yeah,
Dude,
you
could I can back off the clutch and give it enough gas to stay stable.
If you threw me in a manual transmission, I could get it, but it's just one of those things where it's like,
oh, well, you sound like you suck at driving stick then. Because
I just don't want to overflaunt myself because I know the one moment somebody's like, drive my car. I'm like, watch me fuck up first.
Stall it right
Every
out.
manual transmission is a little bit different.
Yeah, well, everybody can go from first to second to third to fourth, but first gear is the really critical one, Garrett. If you can't master the first gear, you have a real problem.
I told you,
son.
I can go. I might roll a little bit. That's all. It's all right. My only
I'm starting
manual,
to question you now. I bet these people are 10 feet behind your car.
The only manual I owned was a 1984 Pontiac Grand Fiero that was dog shit. We got it for $600 off.
They looked cool back in the day.
And we had to rebuild the transmission ourselves. So it was built by a couple of hillbillies in garage. So maybe that's why I'm terrible at first gear. But
maybe now you're making excuses. You should be a master of first gear if you like cars.
I mean, I've driven my brother's Prelude, his Corolla.
I don't care what he's got. Can you
fine.
handle the stick?
I can handle the stick.
Can you not roll? Now, if I get you in the hills of San Francisco, you got a real fucking problem. Because those are, I'm telling you, dude, they are like, when you're going up them and you can't see what's on the other side of the top of this hill, that is a different driving experience than it is around here. But yeah, he's shitting on you a little bit. I'm sure we'll get some emails. I'm sure we'll get some emails about it. Walters at DetroitCast.com.
Yep.
Why don't we kill it there, Garrett, for the day? Let you get home. And we'll be back tomorrow. I think we're good to go for tomorrow. So we'll plan on that. And thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you then.